Ordinary immortals wouldn't be able to withstand the yin qi here at all. Yi Mo cultivated the three-birth chant and was a mortal spirit body, but even so, he felt the power of the bleak wind. Ordinary immortals wouldn't be able to withstand the yin qi here at all. Yi Mo cultivated the three-birth chant and was a mortal spirit body, but even so, he felt the power of the bleak wind. Perhaps no powerful being died here, but there were too many dead ordinary immortals. But this was the perfect place for Yi Mo to go into solitary cultivation. He cultivated in the Golden Page world. Kai Feng, Immortal King, said there was very precious forgery materials here. If that material could upgrade Zisu again, it would be magnificent. The Rainbow Half-God art required a lot on Zisu itself. The higher level of Zisu, the higher the power. Yi Mo flew towards the depth of the range. The deeper, the lesser people, and the safer he was. For hours later, that bleak wind was making Yi Mo shiver, and thus Yi Mo stopped going forward. This wasn't the deepest part, but it was enough for his cultivation. If he really wanted to go deeper, he would just have to release spirit, sense, domain, and the bleak chi would affect him minimally. Just when he wanted to go underground and enter the Golden Page world, he noticed Shadowless sent him a message. He wanted to come out. Yi Mo didn't care. Shadowless could devour essence spirit. It was normal that he wanted to come out and devour souls. But many spirits here have formed intelligence. He warned Shadowless to be careful and threw him out. It was hard for Shadowless to evolve. It would benefit him if he devoured many spirits here. Shadowless told Yi Mo to rest assured and soon disappeared into the depth of the range. Yi Mo entered the earth and set up a few stealth restriction as well as a few void activation restrictions before going into the Golden Page world. He was going into a long solitary cultivation here. Then Yi Mo took out the time formation disc inside the Golden Page world. He killed a great eternity immortal middle stage and got nearly 100 million immortal crystals. That great eternity immortal middle stage was rather wealthy, but his magic artifacts was bad. The only decent one, the stone sword, was shattered by him. Inside the time formation disc, Yi Mo took out the Du Luo heaven fruit immediately. One could only eat one. He got 6 and left 1 to Jinbingyu. He still has 5 now. The Du Luo heaven fruit melted in his mouth immediately into a fresh aromatic liquid. Before Yi Mo could taste it properly, powerful immortal spirit chi ravaged Inez meridians. The terrifying power of this fruit made Yi Mo worry if Zhen Bingyu could handle it. But soon, he didn't worry anymore. The magic about the Du Luo heaven fruit was that it would release different amounts of power based on the person. Even if one couldn't digest it, it would be stored as potential in the body. But for Yi Mo, this was no problem. He washed in the ethereal immortal pond. His meridians were wide and body powerful. It had only been a day inside the time formation disc, but Yi Mo felt the Du Luo heaven fruit's effects were fading, and yet he was still some distance away from great extreme immortal middle stage. One fruit wasn't enough indeed. Yi Mo ate the second fruit without hesitation, even though the difference was just 1 day, but the effect was clearly weakened. Yi Mo found that he was still that little bit from great extreme immortal middle stage. Without hesitation, Yi Mo ate the third fruit, Rumble. His immortal essence had a qualitative change again. Yi Mo felt endless immortal essence rush over, and his spirit sense grew another level stronger. Yi Mo breathed. He knew he had reached great extreme immortal middle stage. Great extreme immortal middle stage. Yi Mo then set up a spirit gathering immortal formation on the broken extreme grade immortal range. Even though it was broken, it was still 10 km long, and the immortal spirit chi was extremely dense. It was countless times better than immortal crystals. After setting up the immortal formation, Yi Mo immersed into cultivation again, forgetting that Shadowless was still at immortal graveyard range. Immortal spirit chi cloud gathered in the Golden Page world, forming an immortal mist that grew thicker and thicker above Yi Mo's head. Then it formed waves of immortal mist and rushed at Yemo Emo, just kept using 3-birth chant to digest the immortal spirit chi. Time slowly passed, and when it had been 4 years outside the Golden Page world, Yemo had cultivated in the time formation disk for 400 years. Crack! The immortal spirit chi of the broken immortal range was dense and quite plenty, but it couldn't last Yemo's terrifying devour. When he broke through to great extreme immortal tertiary stage and near great eternity immortal peak stage, it dissipated. Yemo sighed. He finally understood the use of Du Luo heaven fruit. It contained a lot of immortal spirit chi and top-grade nourishment, but it's mainly used for digging out the potential of immortals. Other immortals, after cultivating for a long time, would have hidden potential, so they could use a fruit to break through a level. He was different. He cultivated the 3-birth chant and pretty much utilized all his potential. That's why his breakthrough was so hard, and even after he did, he devoured immortal spirit chi to supplement the lack of immortal spirit chi before he broke through. If he didn't use Du Luo heaven fruit to reach great eternity immortal middle stage, he was certain that he would be great eternity immortal peak stage after devouring this entire immortal range. But even so, Yemo didn't mind. He was only 1 line away from great eternity immortal peak stage. He still had tens of millions of immortal crystals. It should be enough for him to reach great extreme immortal peak stage. Once he did, he would immediately break through to great eternity immortal. Tens of millions of immortal crystals were used up too quickly for Yemo crack. Just when Yemo reached great extreme immortal peak stage, those immortal crystals turned to dust. Not a single bit was left. Yemo shook his head helplessly. He was certain that if he didn't have pills too, these definitely wouldn't be enough. Now, Yemo immediately came out of the Golden Page world. He put away the surrounding formation flags and landed on the immortal graveyard range. As soon as Yemo came out, he sent out spirit sense blades. He really wanted to know if his spirit sense blades got stronger. Rumble. 1 casual blade hacked open a huge boulder that was 10 meters long. The surrounding bleak chi was split like a parted river. Yemo nodded in satisfaction, thinking that since his spirit sense was so much stronger, the spirit sense blades have materialized. It seemed he could go find a place for divine damnation. The bleak chi seemed to know Yemo's power and didn't dare to gather back. Seeing this, Yemo suddenly thought of Shadowless. Shadowless was out for 4 years and just disappeared. Although Shadowless could rarely help him now, Yemo brought him from Earth and thus had a deep connection with him. He didn't want anything to happen to Shadowless. Yemo immediately began to search for Shadowless, and 15 minutes later, there was this faint mark emanating from the depth of the range. If Shadowless was fine, it would come back immediately when he called him, but now it went deeper instead. Yemo's face sunk. He was certain that Shadowless was either captured or trapped. Yemo immediately released Blue Moon and shot out his spirit sense, domain, and flew into the depth of the immortal graveyard range. Blue Moon flew faster and faster, and the In Chi grew heavier, but they were all blocked by Yemo's spirit sense domain. For hours later, Yemo stopped. 3 great eternity immortal were not far ahead of Yemo. 2 women and 1 man. The man was very handsome and great eternity immortal tertiary stage. The 2 women were a middle-aged, beautiful woman and an extremely pretty young girl. The middle-aged woman was halfway immortal king, and the pretty young girl was also great eternity immortal tertiary stage. Shadowless was the young girl, but restricted. The 3 great eternity immortals were shocked. A great extreme immortal dared to use flying magic artifact in here and flew this fast. Was he not afraid of the Inchi here? They looked as Yemo landed, but no one spoke. The 3 great eternity immortals were shocked. A great extreme immortal dared to use flying magic artifact in here and flew this fast. Was he not afraid of the Inchi here? They looked as Yemo landed, but no one spoke. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. I'm Yi Mo. Hello, 3 immortal friends. The middle-aged woman didn't underestimate Yi Mo and also saluted with her first, so it's immortal friendy. Rin Fu greet immortal friend. Why did you suddenly catch up to us? The middle-aged woman could tell that Yi Mo had some business. Yi Mo's eyes stayed on Li Jin the most, as though he had some business with her. Seeing this, Yi Mo nodded. I have a bug that was playing in the immortal graveyard range. When I came out of solitary cultivation, it was gone. I wonder if you guys have seen it. With this, Rin Fu immediately realized that the shadowless worm belonged to this great extreme immortal. He was so lucky to get a shadowless worm. They were have to evolve, but if they did, they would have huge power. So that shadowless worm is immortal friend Yes. Good fortune, immortal friendy. Half a month ago, we saw a wobbly bug, and when we caught it, we found it was a shadowless bug, so we kept it. Since this shadowless worm is a mortal friend, Yes, of course, will return it to you. Rin Fu was unexpectedly so easy to talk to. If they weren't going to return shadowless, he was about to fight. But then Yi Mo realized shadowless already recognized him as master. It was pointless to take it. Yes, shadowless is indeed mine. Sorry for troubling you 3. Thank you. Yi Mo said. Li Jin, since shadowless worm is a mortal friend Yes, return it to him. Rin Fu said to that great eternity immortal young girl. The girl was very unhappy that her auntie admitted they had it, and now that she had to give back, she was more unhappy. But the owner had already chased over. So she groaned. This shadowless had no owner in the immortal graveyard range. I've kept it for half a month. Who knows it belongs to him? Auntie Fu, would he be tricking us? Yi Mo's face sunk. He was annoyed. It was clear that, even if he was scamming, they would know if they let Shadowless out. If he was the master, Shadowless would fly back immediately. This young girl clearly wanted to keep Shadowless. Although it can only recognize one master, but each time it evolved, its silk could be forged into top-grade immortal robes. Not only Yi Mo's face sunk, but Ren Fu was unhappy too. She reproached Li Jin. What is ours others can't take? What isn't ours, we can't force it. Take it out. The handsome great eternity immortal smiled. Li Jin, whether shadowless worm belongs to this immortal friend. You will know if you take it out. If it is his, I don't want you to keep it too. Okay then. The girl took out a rune. Shadowless was restricted by the rune. Immediately, Shadowless saw Yi Mo and squeaked. You pig, you have the face to squawk. Yi Mo roared angrily. Shadowless didn't dare to make a sound again. Clearly, Shadowless was owned by Yi Mo. Seeing this, the young girl knew that if she tried to keep Shadowless it would be unreasonable, so she could only put away the rune. Immediately, Shadowless flew onto Yi Mo. The 3 just realized that if Shadowless wasn't wobbly because of eating so much, they really wouldn't be able to catch it. Thank you 3 immortal friends for treating Shadowless well. Yi Mo was grateful that they didn't fight and resolved the matter. Ren Fu clearly realized that Yi Mo wasn't ordinary and smiled. You're too polite, immortal friendy. I see you can still release flying magic artifact and go rapidly here, not being affected by Yin Qi. I believe your Yanglin pill must be very high grade? Yanglin pill. Yi Mo looked at Ren Fu in confusion, but soon realized that the reason they could come here unaffected was due to this pill. Yi Mo immediately answered, I didn't use Yanglin pill, nor do I know what it is. Hearing this, Ren Fu's eyes lit up. Then what pill did immortal friendy use? Or what way do you have to not be affected by Yin Qi? Yi Mo was lost for words. How could he say that it was due to his immortal spirit body, 3 birth chant, and spirit sense domain? My bad. Ren Fu was clearly well-mannered. The male cultivator frowned and said nothing, clearly feeling Yi Mo wasn't good enough. They gave back Shadowless without asking for anything, and yet Yi Mo didn't want to tell that his way of avoiding Yin Qi. The young girl sneered, Auntie Fu, I told you not everyone is as generous as you. Li Jin, don't say that. Ren Fu reproached the girl and then smiled to Yi Mo. In that case, We won't disturb a mortal friend Yi. She wanted to bring Yi Mo along with them, but since Yi Mo didn't even want to spill the secret, there was no need. Seeing the three leave, Yi Mo had no choice. He glanced at the fearful Shadowless and knew this guy fell into other people's hands because he ate too much. He was very unhappy, but he didn't have time to waste with Shadowless. He was planning to break through to Great Eternity Immortal and then find the extreme grade material according to Kaifeng Immortal King's map. Because he didn't have immortal crystals, he needed to find a place with dense immortal spirit chi and set up spirit gathering immortal formation. Yi Mo threw Shadowless into the Golden Page world and just wanted to leave, but then he noticed Shadowless immediately charge at that restricted Emperor Dao crystal. "You want to eat it?" Yi Mo asked, and Shadowless immediately gave an intense desire for it. Yi Mo was confused. A few years ago, Shadowless didn't even dare to eat it, but now he wanted to. Shadowless sent Yi Mo more information, and Yi Mo realized Shadowless devoured too many yin qi and souls in these few years. Eating the Emperor Dao crystal now was perfect. Yi Mo didn't mind if he had the deal with How Heaven Grand Emperor. He would give it to Sangjia, but now Shadowless can devour it. Yi Mo removed the restriction, and Shadowless immediately ate the fist-sized crystal. This time, Shadowless' body immediately expanded like a ball. This made Yi Mo worried. It was as though this ball would explode at any time. But Shadowless flew down to the bitter bamboo, wobbly, and fell into sleep again. Yi Mo wondered what this guy would be like when he woke up. Just when he wanted to find a place for divine damnation, he heard a terrified scream of pain and an intense space wave. Those three were in trouble. Yi Mo could immediately tell that scream was from the young girl. Yi Mo flew over immediately. Rin Fu gave him a good impression. He didn't mind helping them. Tens of seconds later, Yi Mo saw with his spirit sense that Ren Fu and the handsome man were attacking a dark-faced old man. They all had the lower hand. Rin Fu didn't seem quiet and peaceful like before. Her hair was messy, and she attacked with her magic artifact like crazy. Li Jin had lost an arm. The clothes on her body had been torn, and two sturdy balls on her chest were revealed. She was completely restricted and laid on the ground in shock. Another great, extreme, immortal, tertiary stage man was going to pull down the other half of her dress. Another great, extreme, immortal, tertiary stage man was going to pull down the other half of her dress. No wonder she was screaming. Yi Mo could tell that the man pulled off her dress, not to rape her, but to insult her. Everyone saw Yi Mo arrive. "Immortal friend Yi, please save Li Jin," Ren Fu said worriedly, but before she finished, another ice arrow shot into her shoulder, bringing out a spray of blood. Although Yi Mo had a bad impression of this girl, the man and Ren Fu gave him a good impression. Seeing Yi Mo come over, the great extreme immortal tertiary stage man didn't continue. He got up and retreated a few steps. Yi Mo opened the girl's restriction and gave a pill to her before saying, "Put on your clothes and connect your arm." The girl's face was very pale. She immediately put on her clothes and connected her arm. She didn't even look at Yi Mo's pill and just ate it. "Who are you? How dare you intervene with our business?" The great extreme immortal tertiary stage saw Yi Mo's power was stronger than his and didn't dare to fight. The old man looked at Yi Mo. He seemed to know Ren Fu and stopped as though fearing Yi Mo would suddenly attack the great extreme immortal. Clearly, that great extreme immortal was important to him. Ren Fu quickly charged up to the girl and helped her recover. Yi Mo studied this black-faced old man. He was also halfway Immortal King and was one step away from Immortal King. No wonder these two great eternity immortal were no match for him. "You're a mere great extreme immortal, and you dare to intervene with my business?" The black-faced man said coldly. Yi Mo didn't care at all. Even though this guy was just one line from Immortal King, he still was an Immortal King. The difference between the two here huge. It was a qualitative and quantitative difference. Yi Mo smiled. If I wanted to intervene, I would have attacked now. Do you see me attacking? If he wanted to kill this great extreme immortal, he only needed one move. This old man wouldn't even be able to save him in time. Yi Mo just knew Ren Fu and owed them one. That's why he helped. He didn't care who was right or wrong. He didn't want to get involved. The old man stared at Yi Mo for a while and didn't attack him. Yi Mo dared to fly here, and he easily removed the restriction of the young girl. This made him a little concerned. He set the restriction, and yet Yi Mo easily opened it. This meant that Yi Mo might be stronger than him. Plus, now that the girl's restriction was open, they had an extra great eternity immortal. Plus this supposed great extreme immortal. He wasn't scared, but he wouldn't be able to protect his disciple. Since you don't want to intervene, then please leave. This is our private affairs. The old man said. Yi Mo said, Of course I'm going to go, but I owe these 3 immortal friends. If I didn't see it, then never mind, but I saw it, so I need to pay them back or I wouldn't be able to rest at heart. What are you going to do? You think I can't kill you? The dark-faced man said as his killing intent spilled out. Rin Fu handed the girl to the man and released her magic artifact standing next to Yi Mo. Hey Warren, try it then. You think the Urin immortal residence is easy to abuse? Yi Mo really didn't care about this Hey Warren. He was great extreme immortal peak stage now. Ren Fu said the reason Hey Warren is fighting us is because he knows we have a map of the immortal graveyard range. Immortal friend Yi, thank you for saving Li Jin. Although my map piece might not lead to the treasure, but there's some hope. You're not afraid of Yin Chi. We can cooperate. Immortal treasure? Yi Mo asked in confusion. Ren Fu nodded. Yes, you should know how the immortal graveyard range came to be, right? I know. Yi Mo answered. That's right. After that battle, many immortals died here, leaving behind countless treasures. Although the battlefield was roughly cleaned, they weren't able to do it precisely due to the emergency of the situation. However, one immortal king didn't die, and he collected the countless good things here and hid it somewhere. However, the immortal king wasn't lucky, and when he was planning to go, he saw someone who planned to do the same thing. They fought, and both were heavily injured, with only Essence Spirit escaping. Ever since, there was no more news of the two. A few million years passed, and everyone gradually forgot about this. My map might be from the Essence Spirit of the escaped immortal king. Rin Fu said. Yi Mo was dazed. The battlefield of billions. How many things would be left behind? Yi Mo was interested, but he didn't know why Rin Fu would say this in front of Hey Warren. Rin Fu seemed to know what Yi Mo thought and explained. Our Urin immortal residence has been searching here for countless years. People would come every few decades. Because the map is incomplete, we have no clue up until now. But somehow, Hey Warren got news of this and came probably to rob my map. Hey Warren stared coldly at Rin Fu and didn't argue. He only guessed they had a map. The residents never gave up searching the immortal graveyard range. Many people were bewildered, and so was he. He only knew why after he got a map piece as well. Rin Fu sound transmission to Yi Mo. You know why he's called Hey Warren? It's because he has a brother called by Warren. The two had the name, meaning that they wouldn't tolerate anything. Their means are very cruel and inhumane. Luckily, Bai Warren didn't come today. Otherwise, we'd die a very gruesome death. Humph. Hey Warren sneered. Ren Fu, you think I came to rob your map? Look at this. Hey Warren threw out a jade slip. Your map is incomplete. I have a share too. If you're willing to cooperate, bring out your jade slip and we can work together to find the treasure. Ren Fu dazed, not expect Hey Warren to have a map too. Yi Mo thought he had a jade slip too. Was it a part of it as well? Thinking about this, Yi Mo said to Ren Fu, Immortal friend Rin, can I have a look at the map? Of course. Rin Fu gave the jade slip to Yi Mo without hesitation. Yi Mo looked at the map and realized that his piece could fit perfectly with hers, but even so, there were still many missing parts. Yi Mo looked at Hey Warren. He was staring at Ren Fu's map with fiery eyes. Yi Mo realized that his map might be a part too. Yi Mo gave the jade slip back to Ren Fu and said, "We'll do it this way. We can work together to find the treasure, and after finding it, we'll split it in 3 parts. How about it?" "You didn't take out anything. What right do you have to get a third? We can go find the treasure together, but I can only agree to splitting things in half. I have half and you 4 have half." Hey Warren glared at Yi Mo coldly. Ren Fu looked at Yi Mo in confusion. She felt Yi Mo was asking for too much as well. Yi Mo was only a great extreme immortal, and she didn't mean to split evenly with Yi Mo just because she said to bring him there. Yi Mo took out a jade slip and said, "Because I have a part of the map too. Do I not deserve a third?" The 2 were dazed. "What, you don't believe I have this?" Seeing the 2 days, Yi Mo raised his jade slip. "What, you don't believe I have this?" Seeing the 2 days, Yi Mo raised his jade slip. Ren Fu breathed and said, "Immortal friend, Yi came to Immortal Graveyard Range and possesses a map piece. I believe you." Hey Warren scanned Yi Mo's jade slip and said, "Regardless of authenticity, everyone put their jade slip in the middle and open the restriction. Then we'll all scan it and mark their own complete map." Then Hey Warren threw his jade slip out first. He looked at Yi Mo coldly. "If someone dares to use fake jade slip to trick me, don't blame me for what happens." Yi Mo ignored the threat and threw his jade slip out after his spirit sense scanned that Hey Warren's map was real. Seeing this, Ren Fu threw the jade slip in the middle too. They immediately marked the map into their own jade slips. Moments later, Hey Warren put away his jade slip and said, "The 3 pieces together isn't the whole map. It seems to be missing a corner." Yi Mo put away his map and said nothing. The map was indeed missing a corner. Ren Fu looked worriedly at Yi Mo. Hey Warren put away his jade slip quickly. She could only barely finish. Some parts were blurry. She was speechless. She didn't know Hey Warren was this bleak. She should have just marked hers and borrow Yi Mo's later. Yi Mo was a great extreme immortal, and his spirit sense must be lacking. The 3 pieces definitely wasn't fused together. Yi Mo sneered. He knew what Hey Warren did, of course, but in actual fact, he had combined the 3 pieces together before he even threw his out. He had seen Ren Fu's map and scanned Hey Warren's map as soon as he threw it out. Yi Mo used less than 1/10 of a second to complete the map, but Hey Warren used 2 seconds. Yi Mo guessed that Ren Fu probably didn't finish. He borrowed hers to look at. If she asked the same thing, he wouldn't hesitate. "We have confirmed this map to be real. Now everyone has a copy. The map is missing a corner, but we should be able to find it. We'll split the treasure into thirds. What do you think?" Hey Warren said, now wasn't the time to deal with these 2. He would find the treasure first. "I'm fine with it." Ren Fu said, "Same." Yi Mo said. Hey Warren nodded happily. "In this case, let's go." Then he took the great extreme immortal and flew off. Ren Fu then said, "Ren Fu, thank Immortal Friendy for saving my life." She then pointed at the young girl and the handsome male. "This is my niece Ren Li Jin, and Chu Chi." She didn't say who Chu Chi was, but Yi Mo wasn't going to ask. Ren Li Jin's arm was attached. She walked up to Yi Mo with red eyes and bowed. "Li Jin, thank Brother Yi for saving my life." Chu Chi also came over and saluted with his fists. If Yi Mo didn't appear, Ren Li Jin would be in a worse state. If they didn't run, they would eventually die too. Yi Mo knew Ren Li Jin's feeling. Any young girl would feel dejected after her clothes were torn off and her private area seen by stranger. Yi Mo didn't want to mention it and changed the topic. No need to mention such minor things. Hey Warren had left. Let's chase up. The 3 map pieces were indeed clearer after combined. The missing part was about the interior of the treasure. It didn't affect the routes outside. Warren was very fast, and in just 2 hours, he found a very hidden stealth formation. From the map, this formation should be the entrance. The four followed behind Warren and dying to feel the route was wrong. Sigh, we used countless years and only secured 100,000 km radius, but now that the 3 pieces combined, we instantly found the entrance. Ren Fu sighed. Yi Mo smiled. If you didn't secure the radius, we wouldn't be able to find here so quickly. Really? In that case, then you guys take me in here. There's a stealth formation here. How come I can't find the entrance? Warren scorned. He believed his piece was the most complete. Seeing them say nothing, Warren sneered. Since you can't find it, then I will. But I need to say this beforehand. If I find the entrance first, I get first choice on the treasure. Yi Mo, who couldn't even be bothered talking suddenly, said, Warren, you mean that if I'm the first to find the entrance, then I get first share when we split things? Of course, whoever finds it first can get first choice, but you can't break the stealth restriction here with force. Otherwise, the things in here would be revealed. Warren said in contempt. Then is it first choice for everything, or just once? Yi Mo asked again. Ren Fu knew she couldn't find the stealth restriction quickly, so she said just once. Yi Mo knew what she thought and nodded. Then he threw out a few formation flags. With this, an obscure entrance appeared before them before eventually forming into a stone door. You're an immortal formation, Great Master? Ren Fu asked in shock. Warren also looked at Yi Mo in disbelief. He could find the entrance, but not as easy as Yi Mo. Let's go. Yi Mo walked in first. Seeing this, the rest of them all followed. Just when Ren Fu wanted to ask how to hide their entrance, Yi Mo waved his hand and took the formation flags. Then the entrance disappeared. Ren Fu felt vigilant seeing this feeling. Yi Mo wasn't ordinary. No one knew that Yi Mo threw out 8 flags, but only took back 7. The stone entrance door was very simple. After going in, there was a platform. Under the platform were coarse steps. This place was indeed set up in a rush. After coming in, the Yin Qi immediately disappeared. Clearly there were formations here to block it. Yi Mo knew no one would attack his disciple here, so he went down the stairs first. Ren Fu followed closely. Yi Mo was last. Before going down, Yi Mo had scanned his spirit sense out. There was spirit sense barrier here, but he broke it easily with his spirit sense blades. He saw there was a skeleton below the stairs. As soon as Warren went down, an immense pressure came. That pressure almost suppressed all the space nearby. Warren knew things weren't good and quickly released a huge bell. Ren Fu also released her defense magic artifact. Only Yi Mo did nothing. Clank, clank, clank. It was like raining hail as countless things hit the bell. Yi Mo was amazed that thing attacked too fast. Even he didn't see what struck the bell. Ren Fu quickly took a few steps back. Luckily, the ambush focused the first person, and she only took some pressure. Now they both saw the skeleton on the ground and realized that the skeleton found here first, but was ambushed. Warren was scared, sweating, but he knew he survived. He then reached out and picked up a jade slip on the floor. At the same time, Ren Fu took the skeleton's storage ring, while Yi Mo casually took a hexagonal black card. At this time, the 3 people behind him came. Warren didn't care. His spirit sense scanned that jade slip, and he rejoiced. This jade slip was the last part of the map. Now he had the complete map. At this time, the 3 people behind him came. Warren didn't care. His spirit sense scanned that jade slip, and he rejoiced. This jade slip was the last part of the map. Now he had the complete map. Ren Fu thought the same. She found she had 200 million more immortal crystals in her storage ring and an extreme grade immortal artifact. She saw what Warren did, but even if he got the 4th part of the map, she didn't care. They were all working together now. Hey Warren had no right to search for treasure alone. Seeing Yi Mo still act like nothing had happened, she felt Yi Mo's experience was too little. Hey Warren thought the same, but he didn't care about a storage ring. He cared about the entire immortal treasure. When Rin Fu subconsciously looked at Yi Mo, she realized that Yi Mo had a frown. She asked Immortal Friendy, "Did you notice something?" Yi Mo was shook and quickly said, "Nothing. Nothing, I just feel a bit weird." Rin Fu was confused but said nothing. The group walked past the skeleton for about tens of meters before seeing another restriction stone door. "It should be here." Hey Warren said, "Master, are we going to break this door open by force?" The Great Extreme Immortal asked. Yi Mo sneered, "Idiot, if you attack with force this door would immediately disappear. This is just a transition formation." The Great Extreme Immortal's face changed, but he didn't dare to speak since his master said nothing. Hey Warren's face was bad, but he didn't rage. He asked, "What do you think we should do, Immortal Friendy?" "If I say it, do I get an extra share?" Yi Mo asked calmly. Hey Warren sneered, "Do you want to act against our arrangement? We agreed to split 3 ways evenly. What's the meaning of you asking for more now?" Rin Fu said nothing. She felt Yi Mo shouldn't be asking for this now. But unexpectedly Yi Mo saluted with his fists. "Haha, I forgot about this. Sorry. Even Hey Warren looked at Yi Mo in confusion. He felt Yi Mo wasn't someone easy to talk to, but now he's so easy to talk to, and apologized. "I'll open this door restriction." Yi Mo threw out for more formation flags. Then the door made ripple like waves before 4 rinks appeared. Yi Mo pointed at the 4 rinks. "There should be 4 pieces to the map. There's 4 rinks here. It should be done if we put the pieces in." Hey Warren frowned. "But we only have 3 pieces. Yi Mo interrupted him immediately. "Really? How come I saw you take a jade slip before?" Hearing this, Hey Warren's face changed. He wasn't certain if Ren Fu noticed it, but he was certain Yi Mo didn't see it. If Ren Fu mentioned this, he would say Ren Fu got a storage ring. But unexpectedly Yi Mo brought this up. Did the two communicate, or did Yi Mo really notice? Yi Mo said coldly, "I found a jade slip indeed, but that's what I found. According to the arrangement before, 1 jade slip for a share. If I have 2 shares, then I will take out the jade slip. Otherwise, why should I take out 2 jade slips?" Yi Mo said calmly, "Using what you just said, do you want to act against the arrangement? We agreed to splitting 3 ways evenly. What's the meaning of this? If I do something, it's free. If you do something, you need to get paid?" Now, Rin Fu realized that Yi Mo had long saw Hey Warren pick up the 4th jade slip. Rin Fu suddenly shivered. She wasn't certain if Yi Mo saw her picking up a storage ring. Was Yi Mo really a great extreme immortal? Hey Warren seemed to be played every single step, much less her. Thinking about this, Ren Fu decided to avoid Hey Warren and split half the immortal crystals with Yi Mo. As for that extreme great immortal artifact, she would keep it herself. Plus, we already settled things outside. If you really don't agree, I'm going to attack the door. Yi Mo said, "You." Hey Warren had nothing to say to that, but he immediately found something else. "Okay, then in that case, how come I saw Rin Goddess pick up a storage ring?" Rin Fu's face froze and then immediately took out a storage ring. "That's right. It's here. If you want it, then take it. I don't want it." Yi Mo scanned with his spirit sense and knew it wasn't the same one she picked up. She had seen what was inside. Only the extreme great immortal artifact was valuable, but for an immortal forgery grandmaster, it was only so. Hey Warren's face was very bad. He was certain this wasn't the same storage ring, but he had no evidence. Seeing the 4 rinks, Hey Warren thought for a while and smiled. "In that case, we'll do what we agreed on before. I'll lose out a bit. Sometimes that's not a bad thing." Then he threw his 2 jade slips in the rink. Ren Fu's spirit sense immediately chased over but saw nothing. The jade slips were gone. Her face didn't look so good, but she still put in her jade slip. When Yemo threw out his 1-2, the ripple restriction on the door disappeared. A grand and ancient chi came into their face. It was as though if they entered this door, they would see everything in the ancient times. This isn't the immortal treasure. Rin Fu's face changed immediately and realized this place was no immortal treasure. It was an ancient rune. It's an ancient rune. Even Hay Warren, dazed upon seeing this, and then he rejoiced. Without a map, it was very hard to get around ancient ruins. Only he had the complete map. Yemo immediately realized, perhaps that the immortal king was finding a place to hide his treasure and accidentally found this ancient rune. Then he used it to hide his treasure. Of course, it was also possible that the immortal king had this ruin map and found here the first stone door, and those course steps were set up by that immortal king, but the restriction stone doors were part of the real ancient ruin. We don't have map. Can we join up and kill Hay Warren? Rin Fu asked Yemo. Before Yemo answered, Hay Warren seemed to have noticed something and took the great extreme immortal in. As soon as they did, Yemo's spirit sense couldn't find them. Sigh, he noticed it. Rin Fu sighed. Yemo shook his head. There might be nothing here. It's probably a ruin that was dug up before, but was just used by that immortal king. If we're lucky, we might be able to find the immortal king's treasure. He left a formation flag outside because he knew that it wasn't just Hay Warren here. Even if Hay Warren didn't run, Yemo wouldn't gain up on him. Ren Fu said in disappointment, It should be so. I got a storage ring before. There's some immortal crystals. I'll share some with you. Then Rin Fu gave Yemo a storage ring filled with 100 million immortal crystals. Yemo took it. Then he gave a jade slip to Rin Fu. This is the map of the 4 pieces combined. You can have a share too. Once we go in, we'll rely on our own fortunes. Rin Fu took the map in joy. She never expected Yemo to have the entire map. It seemed he not only saw the 4th jade slip and marked it too. Chapter 1745. Void Kill Again. Chapter 1745. Void kill again if Ren Fu didn't give him the 100 million immortal crystals. Yemo wasn't going to give her the map for free. To Yemo, the map was precious, but Hay Warren already knows. Plus, Yemo felt people had been to this ruin, so there probably wasn't anything good left. However, that hexagonal card gave Yemo some anticipation. The card wasn't put into the storage ring, meaning that it had equal importance as the map jade slip. Thank you, immortal friendy. Good luck to you. Then Rin Fu took Chu Chi and Li Jin and entered the door. Now, Yemo was the only one here. Yemo seemed desperate and quickly entered the door too. Then he disappeared. It's an ancient ruin. Lucky, this pure luck. These 4 bastards dares to split things with my brother. They're asking to die. As soon as Yemo disappeared, this voice sounded. It was a pale-faced man. He was dressed in white, and his hair was white too. He was the exact opposite of Hay Warren. Then he walked towards that stone door without hesitation. Just when he made half a step, he immediately noticed things weren't good. There was this terrifying feeling. He didn't even have the chance to release his magic artifact, and he felt the space around him completely change. It became fierce and grand and killed with killing intent. Rumble! There was nothing material, but the space kept making this terrifying explosion sound. In this explosion, space went chaotic. Even spirit sense couldn't see anything. Moments later, bloody mist sprayed in the air, and it gradually recovered. A man with half a body appeared in this space. At the same time, Yemo appeared before him, but now there was a purple sword in his hand. It was Yemo who ambushed this man. It seemed like he went into the door, but instead, he stealthed himself on the side. He left a formation flag outside. He noticed it as soon as this man came. You dare to ambush me. The white man's face was hideous. A white flashy bone had appeared in his hand. It gave Yi Mo a strange feeling, as though there was endless power contained in it. Die. The white man released the bone in his hand. Bleak killing chi filled the space. It seemed that against such killing force, Yi Mo would be killed no matter where he ran. Yi Mo was shocked. He was certain this person was Bai Warren. He didn't expect this guy to be alive after ambushing him and still have the power to retaliate. If he gained up on Hei Warren before, and this Bai Warren came, Rin Fu and them would be in a dire situation. Yi Mo had the confidence to stop Bai Warren, but Ren Fu and them wouldn't be able to stop Hei Warren. Although Rin Fu was also half a mortal king, her power was quite weaker than Hei Warren. He knew that the reason the two didn't jump out together at the start was for fearing that he crushed the jade slip. But now there was just a Bai Warren. Su splashed the skies with purple light and hacked open the killing chi-filled space. Sword God Art Rainbow. The sword ray instantly turned to countless rainbow sword rays, and the killing chi Bai Warren started up were instantly melted. In a short time, they completely disappeared. Seeing this, there was extreme shock on Bai Warren's face. He completely realized that even if Yi Mo didn't ambush him, he wouldn't have it easy with Yi Mo. This powerful sword force meant that Yi Mo was on par with him. Realizing this, Bai Warren regretted that he didn't run when he was ambushed. However, he still had time to run. Crack! There was a terrifying cracking sound when Su hit the white bone. Bai Warren couldn't care about his magic artifact. He instantly released a rune. Yi Mo wasn't going to give him the time to do this and punched. Void. This fist seemed to have come from the void. Void annihilation, no return. All the remnant killing force and the rainbow sword ray in the air were taken away by this punch, forming a huge killing force whirlpool. Bai Warren was caught in this killing force whirlpool and was extremely shocked. He completely didn't understand how a great extreme immortal could be this insane. He was halfway a mortal king. Even though he was ambushed, he shouldn't be suppressed like this. Even his rune was caught by the whirlpool. This was space law. Have mercy! Bai Warren could only say this and was churned by the space killing force. Yi Mo reached out his hand and a white storage ring flew in, as well as that bone magic artifact. The bone magic artifact had this death annihilation chi. Clearly it wasn't ordinary. Yi Mo just put on a few restriction and threw it into his storage ring. He was more interested how many good things were in Bai Warren's storage ring. When Yi Mo broke the restriction and scanned his spirit sense in, he was dazed. This was the first time he had seen such a wealthy storage ring. Even how Heaven Grand Emperor's small world didn't surprise him this much. There were at least 1 billion immortal crystals piled up. They were like huge mountains. This wasn't even Bai Warren's main fortune. He had 20 immortal crystals cards, and each had 100 million. This meant that Bai Warren had 3 billion immortal crystals. On top of that, there were immortal spirit herb and forgery materials piled up in mountains. He had 8 extreme grade immortal artifact and countless more pills and lower grade ones. Just how many did this bastard rob? He was too wealthy. Yi Mo immediately thought of Hei Warren. If Bai Warren had this many good things, how many would Hei Warren have? Thinking about this, he even wanted to fight with Hei Warren. After his joy, Yi Mo put away the storage ring and formation flags and opened the restriction stone door. Yi Mo just entered the door and heard a few cracks. Then he saw 4 jade slips on the back of the door. He didn't expect them to fall. Yi Mo picked them up and found them to be the same before they threw them into the rink. Yi Mo just realized that they needed the jade slips to go out. Even if Hei Warren got things, he wouldn't be able to get away as long as the jade slips were in his hands. Thinking about this, Yi Mo rejoiced. It seemed they needed to meet again. That guy was unlucky. Yi Mo looked around. It was barren wilderness everywhere. There were endless hills and dead trees everywhere. Dried-up riverbed had spiderweb like cracks spread all over it. Yi Mo reached his spirit sense out and was immediately blocked. even his eyes, and could only see about tens of meters. Yi Mo didn't move. He soon noticed something wrong. These endless hills and spider webs seemed to have some pattern to them. Those dead trees didn't seem to grow casually. Yi Mo took out the map and immediately realized that the scene was correspondent to the map. A moment later, Yi Mo put away his jade slip. He had a very clear route. Although they had the same map and came from the same way, but the route formed in their brain might be different. Yi Mo flew into the dried river and rushed into the depth of the ruin. Not right. Hey Warren suddenly stopped. What's wrong, master? The great extreme immortal asked respectfully. The routes should be born based on people's sea of consciousness. The marks I left behind should allow your martial uncle to come here, but after coming in, he wouldn't be able to follow my marks. Hey Warren patted his head. It really is so. What do we do? The great extreme immortal scanned and didn't find the marks they just made. Chapter 1746. Surprise. Chapter 1746. Surprise. Li Jin, don't take what happened today to heart. Things like this will happen when you come out for trial. You will only have the chance to be independent if you increase your power. Rin Fu saw her niece was dejected and comforted. Yeah, Li Jin cousin, your talent is so high, you can definitely reach Immortal King in the future. Once you reach Immortal King, I will go with you to kill that bastard, and then we can have our wedding. Chu Chi said. Then, Chu Chi held Ren Li Jin's hand. Getting Chu Chi's comfort, Ren Li Jin felt a little better, but the killing intent in her eyes were dense. Not only was she going to kill that great extreme immortal, but also Hey Warren. Even though she was no match for him, but one day she would be able to kill him. Rin Fu knew what her niece thought and said Li Jin, Hey Warren, and Bai Warren usually appear at the same time. Although I don't know why Bai Warren didn't come today, but you must not go attack Hey Warren. Even if you do, you must go with Chu Chi and your power must be higher than him. My cultivation level is almost the same as Hey Warren, but I'm far from a match for him. Plus, that Bai Warren wouldn't be weaker than Hey Warren. The three fell silent. The three gained up on Hey Warren, but Hey Warren still subjugated Ren Li Jin first. If Yi Mo didn't come, she would be in a worse situation. Who is Yi Mo? Hey Warren seemed to be concerned with him. Ren Li Jin asked in confusion. Not only Hey Warren, but I feel concerned with him too. I think Hey Warren probably suspects that Yi Mo hid his power. Otherwise, how could a great extreme immortal not fear us, great eternity immortals at all? This great extreme immortal not only has shadowless worm, but is also an immortal formation great master. This is also strange. Rin Fu said. Chu Chi nodded. This person is not bad. We helped him once, and he helped Li Jin. But I suspect he didn't hide his power. He can probably kill people above his level like Hey Warren. Hey Warren probably guessed this, and that's why he was worried about Yi Mo joining up with us. Chu Chi is right. From how he instantly carved the entire map, he's probably stronger than me. I suspect he already knows what I got from the storage ring. Regardless, Yi Mo is no ordinary person, and he helped us. Even if he didn't, you guys need to treat him with respect. Rin Fu said seriously. Chu Chi said, what I don't understand is, since Yi Mo could carve down the jade slip, he clearly knew about it. Why did he not touch the storage ring, nor the jade slip? Rin Fu fell silent. The only explanation was that Yi Mo found something better, but even she didn't see what it was. It's that bastard, I'm going to kill him. Ren Li Jin suddenly roared. Rin Fu and Chu Chi saw the great extreme immortal coming back, but they didn't see Hey Warren. Rin Fu immediately nodded, kill him. The great extreme immortal was focused on going, but when the three saw him, he also saw the three. He was a mere great extreme immortal. How did he dare to go upon seeing three great eternity immortal? Instantly he changed a direction and ran. Before he could move, a terrifying space-tearing force tore him to pieces. Seeing this great extreme immortal just disappear, the three sweated cold on their back. They knew they could only go along the route formed in their brain, but the consequence of not following it was too terrifying. After walking for half a day, Yemo found that this place was filled with mountains and immortal spirit mountains that had been excavated. He suspected that this place used to be a trial ground. A 10-meter tall immortal spirit beast carcass suddenly blocked his road. Yemo stopped. A terrifying power came from this body, making Yemo retreat a few steps subconsciously. In this barren and wild place, Yemo felt this strange sense of suppression. It made his mind worry, and this tall immortal spirit beast body made him feel like the sky was collapsing on him. Such a powerful immortal spirit beast, Yemo took in a cold breath in. He had seen level 7 immortal spirit beast in the 7 refined tower. But this immortal spirit beast that was dead for countless years gave Yemo a more powerful feeling. This body was much smaller than that level 7 immortal spirit beast. But Yemo felt this immortal spirit beast might even be a level 9 immortal spirit beast. Thinking about this, Yemo was shocked. Level 9 immortal spirit beast was equivalent to immortal emperor. If this was really so, he would be earning big. Yemo just wanted to send the body into his golden page world when he saw a faint golden light come out from the body. Immortal spirit beast core? Yemo instantly realized he held down his excitement and took the fist-sized immortal spirit beast core. The pressure of the immortal spirit beast was mostly from this immortal spirit beast core. It was powerful, but it couldn't attack. Yemo was immortal spirit body and great extreme immortal peak stage, and thus could take the pressure. Yemo knew that just this beast core was invaluable. There were many means for immortal monarch to break through to immortal emperor, but very little could succeed. It could be said that only 1% of the means would succeed, and not everyone might be able to use it. Emperor Start Pill was a mean everyone could use. The main ingredient was a level 9 immortal spirit beast core. Level 9 immortal spirit beast were extremely rare in immortal realm. They usually took humanoid form too. They were equivalent to a real immortal emperor, who would dare to touch immortal emperor Dantian. This was unimaginable luck that Yemo found a level 9 immortal spirit beast core. He put it in a jade box and placed restrictions before sending into the golden page world. Yemo wasn't interested in the body of this immortal spirit beast. Its bones were top-grade forgery materials, but nothing compared to the beast core. Yemo dug a place on the spot and buried the body. Level 9 immortal spirit beast were very respected in the immortal realm. If he didn't get the immortal spirit beast core, he would bring this body out for immortal crystals, but since he got the immortal spirit beast core, he would bury it in return. For hours later, Yemo stopped again. A huge black palace appeared before him again. The doors were tightly shut and there was a hexagonal rink in the middle. Yemo immediately thought of that hexagonal card he got. He took it out immediately. Yemo put the card in. Creak. The door seemed to have not been opened for a long time. A sorts of chi came out, each one representing an immortal artifact or treasure. Yemo just stared at the center of the palace. There was a dark red stone, derelict in the center. It was about 3 meters wide. It was that stone that made Yemo's heart skip. He finally realized what the extreme grade forgery material Kai Feng, Immortal King, talked about was. Yemo didn't know how Kai Feng knew there was this or here, but he knew this or. It was refined star rock that wasn't in the 33 heavens. It sounds ordinary, but it's very extraordinary. It could be compared with star core flame, as it's also obtained from refining a planet. If you wanted to obtain the refined star rock, you needed to refine a large planet. Even Yemo suspected if this was real, how many planets would be refined to get a refined star rock this big? Even a divine emperor wouldn't do something this boring. Regardless, Yemo had decided to take it into his golden page, world first. You really found the key to the palace. Hey Warren's shaky voice sounded. It was extreme joy. Chapter 1747 Buddhist God Art. Chapter 1747 Buddhist God Art. Emo already noticed Hey Warren when he came. Before Hey Warren could attack, Emo went into the palace first and wanted to put the refined star rock into his storage ring. What confused Emo was that the refined star rock didn't move at all. Haha, you want to put refined star rock into your storage ring. Do you think your storage ring is half-god artifact? Hey Warren laughed and entered the palace. Emo frowned and stopped trying. According to Hey Warren, it required half-god artifact or above storage ring to store. Although he could put it in his golden page world, but he didn't do so. He wasn't scared of Hey Warren, but he was certain he could keep Hey Warren here. If Hey Warren got away, news of him owning half-god artifact would spill. You probably don't want to see me the most now, right? Haha, I underestimated you. You actually got the key to this palace. Answer my question, and you can kill yourself. I'll allow you to go into reincarnation. Hey Warren glanced at Emo contemptuously. To him, no matter how strong Emo was, he was no watch if he didn't have Ren Fu and them to help. Emo raised his hand, and Su was in his hand. Then he said, Actually, I really want to see you. Do you believe me? There was a cruel smile on Hey Warren's lips, but he didn't attack and asked, My only confusion is how did you get here? You need to get 4 parts of the map. How did you get here? If I tell you, will you not hurt me? Emo asked plainly. Keep dreaming. Hey Warren sneered. Then stop farting and fight. Emo said and attacked. Hey Warren saw that Emo dared to initiate the attack and was furious. A golden crack appeared out of nowhere as though it had always been here. Then there was Buddhist chants in the palace like huge hammers that smashed in Emo's sea of consciousness. This spirit sense knocking almost made Emo spit a mouthful of blood. He immediately expanded his spirit sense domain and severed the Buddhist chants. This wasn't a spirit sense cultivation method, but was much more powerful than ordinary spirit sense cultivation method. If he didn't have spirit sense domain, he would be heavily injured from that. At the same time the golden crack landed, it was a 10-meter long golden staff. This gave Emo a very familiar feeling. At the bottom of the pond in the Chaos Star realm, he saw a staff and a skeleton. He didn't touch the staff next to it, but he felt the 2 staffs were similar. This murderous, inhumane Hey Warren actually cultivated authentic Buddhist cultivation method. Even Emo didn't expect this. Su's purple light was no weaker than the golden light. Instantly, the purple rainbow clashed with the golden light. Light splashed everywhere, creating space, tearing sounds in the palace. Clank! Su and the staff clashed together, creating huge sounds in the palace. Emo's face didn't change. His rainbow god art was only half god art. Hey Warren was a little stronger than Bai Warren. He could easily kill Bai Warren because he ambushed him first, but against Hey Warren, Emo would need to use other ways to kill him. However, Shadowless was asleep, or Shadowless could ambush him and grab a second of time for him. Hey Warren's face changed. Although he released his staff casually, it was a Buddhist god art, Brahma sound, gold shatter. When the Brahma sound entered the sea of consciousness, his golden staff could easily tear the opponent in half, but now, Emo easily stopped it and didn't seem to break sweat at all. You hid your power. Hey Warren felt a great extreme immortal would definitely not be able to stop this move. Emo released Su again, Illusion Cloud Division Strike. He wanted to kill Hey Warren quickly, just like what Hey Warren wanted to do to him. His sword ray split rapidly, and in the blink of an eye, before the Brahma sound dissipated, the palace was covered in Emo's purple sword rays again. At the same time, Emo punched. All the sword rays suddenly spun. It was as though the entire palace was spinning due to Emo's punch. A terrifying grand killing intent surrounded the palace and swept over at Warren. Warren couldn't handle the shock in his heart anymore. He thought that move was Yi Mo's biggest killing blow, but this punch was about to tear open the void. Perhaps if Yi Mo wasn't limited by his cultivation level, this punch would have torn open the void. Warren didn't dare to hold back. He released a golden futon and shot out hundreds of hand signs. The golden futon formed golden ripples around him. With each hand sign, the ripple would expand a little. The golden ripples grew larger and larger in the void and wave after wave. Every time Yi Mo's void killing force was stopped by the ripple, it would slow a little. Yi Mo's heart sunk. He hadn't fought with a mortal king, but it didn't mean he knew nothing. This futon with Warren's hand signs for the basic Immortal King domain. The Immortal King was so powerful because they were like truth realization state in the cultivation realm. They could completely expand their domain. Immortal King's domain was called Immortal King domain. The space in the immortal realm was stable, so it was too hard to form one's own domain. Even the most powerful Great Eternity Immortal could only bind space nearby with his immortal essence, but this wasn't domain. This was like Yi Mo's sword domain and spirit sense domain. Yi Mo was an expert in domain knowledge, but his cultivation level prevented him from forming his own domain in the immortal realm. When Great Eternity Immortal broke through to Immortal King, it was a qualitative chance. This change was forming domain. It was much more powerful than his spirit sense domain. Spirit sense domain would only work below Immortal King. Perhaps it was more agile and fluent, but it was far weaker than an Immortal King domain. But Warren used this futon to form his domain. Yi Mo knew if Warren's domain enveloped him completely, he wouldn't be able to retaliate. Yi Mo really wanted to use World Rock and give this guy a Tai Mountain Crush, but Yi Mo knew that the God Art used too much power. If Tai Mountain Crush couldn't kill Warren, he would be at a definite disadvantage. Yi Mo sighed. He learned quite some God Art, but his cultivation level was too low. The more powerful the God Art, the more immortal essence and spirit sense it required. If he used all his God Arts together, 2 Warren would be dead. But Yi Mo knew to be able to use many God Arts at the same time, he would have to be at least Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. Rumble. Void killing force clashed with the golden futon again. The terrifying sound almost flipped the palace. The ripple also started to cripple. After all, this wasn't Warren's own domain. He used the futon to set it up. The division sword rays also became messy and scattered everywhere. Tens of sword ray had sliced open Warren's clothes and created some blood. Some of the golden light struck Yi Mo, but Yi Mo was completely fine. Yi Mo's immortal spirit body prevented any injuries. Warren's face was worse. Clearly, Yi Mo's punch was far more terrifying than that strike. For the first time, Warren felt fear. His fake Immortal King domain was also very taxing on spirit sense and immortal essence. But then the fear was instantly swept away. If he didn't want news of him having Buddhist cultivation method to spill, he would have to kill Yi Mo die. He burned his immortal essence and attacked even faster. His futon shot out denser and greater ripples, while his golden staff turned into a tidal wave of golden color at Yi Mo. Chapter 1748. Punch of Destruction. Chapter 1748. Punch of Destruction. There were denser and faster Brahma sounds, as though they were going to tear Yi Mo's sea of consciousness constantly. However, they were stopped by Yi Mo's spirit sense domain. Yi Mo knew this was Warren attacking at full power. Victory or defeat depended on this move. He was also certain that if Warren couldn't kill him with this move, he would leave. Realizing this, Yi Mo didn't hold back. There was not a third person here. He released World Rock, but this wasn't God Art. He knew he couldn't use 2 God Arts at the same time now. The World Rock, covered by void secret silver, suddenly smashed down like a huge mountain into that golden sea. The pouring golden sea immediately slowly after being blocked by the world rock. The golden color retreated and the Brahma sounds weakened. Warren was more and more shocked. He didn't expect GMO to have this small mountain like magic artifact. No wonder Yi wasn't afraid of him, nor Ren Fu, and wanted to take a part of the immortal treasure. Realizing Yi Mo's terror, Warren wanted to kill Yi Mo even more. He burned Heisai immortal essence like crazy, and the immortal king domain spread rapidly. In just another second, his immortal king domain would sweep Yi Mo in. Then, Yi Mo would be on the chopping block. How could Yi Mo let himself get in the immortal king domain? He sent out tens of spirit sense blades and punched a second time. Wave kill. Rumble. A 10-meter tall, 100-meter wide blue flame wave rose into the air and instantly formed a firewall as it collided into Warren's golden futon. Sizzle. The blue flame easily crippled the golden ripples and charged at Warren, but this wants the end. A second, even more terrifying blue wave filled the palace and also pressed towards Warren. The first wave of flame quenched Warren's domain and instantly came before Warren. The intense scorch made him no longer able to suppress his terror. If he knew Yi Mo had such a powerful punch, he would rather run away immediately. But now it was too late. He could only block it. Warren suppressed the horror in his heart. The golden futon turned into a huge golden round shield blocking in front of him. Rumble. The fire smashed the golden futon, and the golden futon immediately dimmed down. In the turn of an eye, it became black. Warren's body was full of a burnt smell. He successfully blocked Yi Mo's first fire wave, but before he could get away, the second one came. The second wave burned the futon like paper. Blue, like morning sky, immortal flame, God, art. Warren spat these words and was devoured the flame. Yi Mo spat a mouthful of blood and flew back, sitting on the ground. His wave kill punch could punch out 3 waves of flame and sweep all the killing force of the void over, making the opponent unable to Asakbi. But now he only used 2 waves and collapsed to the ground. He didn't even punch out the killing force of the fist. It could be said he only released a third of the real power of wave kill. Yi Mo's body was deprived of immortal essence. His spirit sense was extremely depleted. If a hollow immortal came now, he might not be able to beat him. Yi Mo ate a few pills. This situation occurred because he didn't know that blue like morning sky and wave kill combined would cost this much after blue, like morning sky, reached immortal flame. This meant that if wave kill was used, he would wait to be killed if it couldn't kill. This meant that even in his prime state, he wouldn't be able to use the entire wave kill with blue, like morning sky. He would have to reach great eternity immortal. Even so, he wouldn't be able to use it easily. If he used it, he would be weakened to the extreme. The pills immediately turned to immortal essence, and Yi Mo recovered a little. He looked forward at the charred area. There was only a golden staff on the side, nothing else. Yi Mo sighed. Warren definitely had more things than Bai Warren, but he couldn't control wave kill. Wave kill destroyed the storage ring too. After recovering some immortal essence, Yi Mo immediately put that refined star rock into the golden page world, as well as the golden staff. Yi Mo just realized that the battle caused nearly all the storage ring here to explode. These storage ring were clearly collected by that immortal king at the battlefield. He never came back after placing them here. Most of the things inside the broken storage ring were destroyed. Only some spare immortal crystals remain and some immortal artifacts. They were from low grade to extreme grade immortal artifacts. They were stacked up in piles. Yi Mo shook his head. It was too much of a pity. Yi Mo found 10 uncracked storage ring and found it was just some immortal artifact and immortal crystals and ordinary level forgery materials. Clearly, these storage ring had been harvested once already. Yi Mo then studied this palace and confirmed these was nothing else but the refined star rock. There was some slight space ripples from outside the palace. Yi Mo immediately knew that Ren Fu and them were here. Yi Mo didn't want to see them now. There was nothing else attracting him in the palace, so he left the palace without hesitation. Yi Mo just left the palace, and 3 figures landed just where Yi Mo stood. It was clearly Ren Fu and them. "Auntie Fu, this doesn't seem right. Someone seemed to have just fought here," Ren Li Jin said. She felt much better after killing the great extreme immortal. Rin Elijin walked inside carefully, and immediately they found countless broken magic artifact and storage ring. This is the immortal treasure, but these storage ring seem to have been destroyed by the battle. Tens of thousands of them were destroyed. This is such a pity, Rin Fu said. Chu Chi said, "Auntie Fu, would it be caused by Yi Mo and Hei Warren fighting? The temperature here is very high. There seems to be a fire element. Hei Warren isn't fire element. If Yi Mo is fighting, then he's probably fire element." "Huh?" Ren Li Jin opened her mouth wide in shock for a while before saying, "He only seems to be great extreme immortal. Even if he hid his power, he can't be a match for Hei Warren, right?" Ren Fu shook her head. "This is hard to say. Yi Mo is very mysterious, and both of them aren't here. Regardless, we should hurry up and take what we can and leave." Yi Mo used less than half the time to come back to the restriction stone door. But Yi Mo didn't go out. He threw the 4 jade slips on the door and let the stone door open before hiding on the side. A day later, 3 figures acme here rapidly. Yi Mo saw they were Ren Fu and them. They all had a joyful face. Clearly they were happy with what they got at the palace. The 3 didn't even think and left the door. Yi Mo waited for another 2 hours before leaving the door too. He scanned his spirit sense out and found the 3 had left indeed. Yi Mo stood at the door to the restriction. He waited for the 4 jade slips to fall. Chapter 1749. One's Person's Ruin. Chapter 1749. One's person's ruin, but soon Yi Mo was disappointed. He waited for 5 minutes, but nothing came off. Yi Mo shook his head in disappointment. He was planning to use Zi Su to smash the door. The reason he was going to do this was because he didn't want other people to come in. Yi Mo felt there were more things in this ancient ruin, but he just dying to find them yet. Plus, he didn't want Ren Fu bringing more people here. Thud. Yi Mo didn't attack with full power, but when Zi Su struck the stone door, it immediately sprouted some ripples. Yi Mo felt that the position he was at was spinning. He really wanted to check with spirit sense, but he couldn't see anything around him. This was indeed space transition formation, but it was a bit different than he had thought. Yi Mo thought that the formation only took the door away, but it also took him too. 10 seconds later, the space nearby stabilized again. Yi Mo breathed easy. He was prepared to go into the golden page world if something was wrong, but now it didn't seem he need to. Clap, clap. When the space stabilized, Yi Mo found that the 4 jade slips fell down again. Yi Mo immediately picked them up. It seemed that when the jade slip was attached to the door, the transition formation would take the people nearby with it as well. But if the jade slip wasn't attached to the door, attacking the door would only cause the door to be taken. This way, the stone door would completely disappear. This ancient ruin was so meticulously designed. After getting these 4 jade slips, Yi Mo was overjoyed. If he didn't have a place to hide, this was the best place. Without the jade slip, no one can open that restriction door no matter how powerful one was. If someone attacked the door by force without the jade slip, the door would immediately be transported to a new place. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out, and he found that there were no course stairs outside. The entrance restriction at the immortal graveyard range was gone. He had a formation flag mark at the entrance, but he couldn't even sense it now. To be specific, in front of him was completely undug earth. Yi Mo wasn't going to dig those stairs. The immortal king did that, so his descendants could find this place, but he didn't need to. Only he needed to know here, this ruin becomes his alone. Yi Mo came out of the earth and found his position was still in the immortal graveyard range. Yi Mo expanded his spirit sense domain and checked the nearby surrounding. This place was indeed not where he came in from and was quite far. Rin Fu and them were gone. He seemed to be the only one left here. In Chi flowed, making ghastly sounds. Yi Mo didn't stay here. He released Blue Moon and prepared to find a place for divine damnation. But after flying for 5 minutes, Yi Mo realized that his divine damnation would definitely be heavenly shocking. If he had divine damnation outside the immortal graveyard range, it might startle powerful beings. Meanwhile, there was no one near the immortal graveyard range. Thinking about this, Yi Mo threw out 500 million immortal crystals without hesitation. He knew he would need quite a bit immortal crystals to break through to great eternity immortal. This place wasn't like the Flame River, where he only needed to set up immortal spirit chi gathering formation. Luckily, he had 3 billion immortal crystals. It was definitely enough. The 500 million immortal crystals were set up into a huge spirit gathering immortal formation. Then, Yi Mo added a stealth formation on top of that. When the divine damnation really came, this stealth immortal formation wouldn't help that much. It definitely wouldn't be able to stop Yi Mo's terrifying immortal spirit chi whirlpool, but for Yi Mo, even a little bit would help. Yi Mo had a few bottles of extreme Jia pills. They were all special grade. He ate the pills and ran the 3-birth chant at full power, charging at the bottleneck of great eternity immortal. An invisible barrier formed in Yi Mo's will. Yi Mo just had to keep charging at these barriers, the barriers that stopped his breakthrough. It was invisible for ordinary immortals. Even if they want to break through, they would have to sense that barrier. If they can't even touch that barrier with their immortal essence and spirit sense, there is no way they can break it. This was the bottleneck. Sometimes one wouldn't be able to pass it their entire life. Yi Mo, cultivated till now, and every time he was at the peak stage of a big state, he could touch the barrier easily. He just needed to charge and break it. This time was the same time. In less than 3 days, his immortal essence swept all of his meridians and passed through his dantian. The great eternity immortal barrier was right before him. Rumble. Yi Mo's immortal essence just touched the barrier, and his immortal essence wasn't enough. A heavy crackle sounded in the air. His first wave of divine damnation was about to come. Crack, crack, crack. 36 explosions sounded. 36 bucket-sized lightning bolts rained down at the same time from all directions, striking Yi Mo. The Yin Chi nearby was completely torn apart. Yin Chi feared lightning, much less such terrifying lightning. With the Yin Chi fleeing away, the temperature of this place rose up immediately. Yi Mo released World Rock and Zisu and blocked 9 of the bolts. The rest of the 27 bolts all fell on Yi Mo instantly. Yi Mo's clothes turned to dust. Tearing sounds of flesh came. Blood flew all over Yi Mo's body. Even though he was a mortal spirit body, he couldn't take the 27 bolts without injury. Yi Mo knew these bolts were much stronger than the ones in the Flame River. Thud, thud, thud. Yi Mo was smashed into a pit by the lightning bolts. Even though not a single part of his skin was unharmed, Yi Mo didn't care. He had experience. The most dangerous part of his divine damnation was the first and second wave. After these 2 waves, the divine damnation wouldn't affect him at all. Yi Mo devoured the lightning source like crazy, and the mist formed by a few 100 million immortal crystals all rushed at Yi Mo. In the blink of an eye, Yi Mo was enveloped by immortal spirit chi. The 500 million immortal crystals kept cracking and turned to dust. At this moment, Yi Mo's meridians expanded greatly and devoured all the immortal spirit chi that came. Yi Mo's power rose rapidly. His immortal spirit chi was closer to that barrier and even begun charging at it. More and more immortal essence were added by Yi-Mo charging at the barrier. Crack! The second wave of lightning bolts were here. Yi-Mo guarded his mind. This second wave was the most dangerous. Seeing 48 thick bolts land, his heart felt heavy. He didn't break through to great eternity immortal. It was really difficult to stop the 48 bolts. Without hesitation, Yi-Mo released octagonal cauldron again and 108 lightning sword. Zisu and World Rock blocked 9. Octagonal cauldron could only block 1. The 108 lightning swords could only weaken 9 lightning bolts. In that instant, Yi-Mo's position was blasted with lightning. Magic artifact chimed and Yi-Mo was covered by lightning. Chapter 1750. Level 8 Immortal Artifact. Chapter 1750. Level 8 Immortal Artifact Crack. Yi-Mo's fake octagonal cauldron crashed with a lightning bolt and instantly split apart into pieces, but the lightning bolt was barely stopped. The lightning swords and lightning bolts clashed too. Lightning exploded and the nearby space was permeated with lightning. 29 lightning bolts struck Yi-Mo's body, pushing him deeper into the ground. The instant these bolts hit Yi-Mo, his immortal essence suddenly surged up and broke open the barrier. Then the weakened 9 lightning bolts also fell. There was just 2 seconds difference between the first 29 bolts. The terrifying immortal essence needed to break through to great eternity immortal was shown now. Most of the 29 bolts and the 9 weakened bolts were devoured by Yi-Mo. Yi-Mo didn't have the time to be happy. He just devoured the immortal spirit chi like crazy. Every divine damnation, if he wasn't killed by it, it would be a feast for him. The immortal crystals in the formation kept cracking as the immortal spirit chi spilled were devoured along with the lightning source by Yi-Mo. Yi-Mo's injuries also recovered rapidly. In just 15 minutes, his body had completely recovered. Feeling the immortal spirit chi digesting speed of great eternity immortal, Yi-Mo rested easy. The second wave had passed, and he reached great eternity immortal. This meant that he didn't have to worry about the next waves of divine damnation. As expected, the later lightning bolts still came more than 10 at once, but it was nothing much but a ticklet for Yi-Mo. The last immortal crystals on the spirit gathering immortal formation cracked. Yi-Mo looked at the sky in disappointment. He reached great eternity immortal, but not a sliver of immortal spirit chi cloud fell. It could only be said that he was lucky he had the immortal spirit chi cloud last time. Perhaps it was due to the location being the endless flame river. Yi-Mo had decided to have his immortal king, divine damnation, in the void fissure. Perhaps there he would get immortal spirit chi cloud again. His power wasn't very stable yet. Yi-Mo wanted to cultivate for a few days and consolidate his power. However, the immortal crystals had been used up. Yi-Mo didn't take out more immortal crystals to cultivate here. He put away the formation flags and went underground to go into the Golden Page world. In the Golden Page world, Yi-Mo used another 100 million immortal crystals to set up a spirit gathering immortal formation. He just reached great eternity immortal, and his immortal essence was spilling out. This was not good for hiding his cultivation level. Yi-Mo was about to go back to Changrong heaven. Anyone would be suspicious of him for reaching great eternity immortal from great extreme immortal in a few years. Yi-Mo didn't use time formation disc to consolidate his power. 2 months later, Yi-Mo had completely consolidated his power. There was still 7 months till the time he agreed to meet up with Li Kuan. With the help of the immortal spirit herbs Li Kuan gave him, Yi-Mo reached Immortal Pill Grandmaster, but unfortunately, he didn't have any more level 7 immortal spirit herbs left for pill concoction. With this, Yi-Mo decided to spend his time to study that refined star rock. Even till now, Yi-Mo doubted if it was real. The chi of the rock did seem similar to what was on the books, but it also said these rocks came from refining planets. Sometimes a huge planet might only get a 30 cultivation method stone. This stone was 3 meters. The refined star rock could only be melted with a mortal flame. Under the severing of the blue, like morning sky, Yimo found he easily cut open the rock. Yimo's heart sunk. He hadn't used this rock to forge a mortal artifact, but he knew it definitely wouldn't be cut open so easily. This meant that this rock might be fake. Seeing this, his heart was filled with disappointment. Yimo looked carefully at the rock he cut down. It seemed better than void secret silver, but not that much better. This meant this was at most level 7 immortal material. In his disappointment, Yimo stopped. He finally got a good material to upgrade Zisu, but under scrutiny, he found it wasn't refined star rock. Yimo was a mortal forgery grandmaster now, and could even Forbidden Grounds level 8 immortal artifact. He really wanted to upgrade Zisu, but if he only had material equivalent to void secret silver, then never mind. Just when Yimo wanted to put away the heaven flame, he felt Siam thing wasn't right. If this was really only level 7 immortal material, he should be able to put it in his storage ring, but he couldn't before. Thinking about this, Yimo threw the piece he cut off into the storage ring. This time it was easily taken in. Yimo immediately realized what was going on and kept cutting the stone with blue, like morning sky. Many hours later, a 60 centimeters dark red ore appeared before Yimo. This ore had much denser chi than the pieces he cut off before. It had this terrifying and ancient calling. Blue like morning sky couldn't melt this one easily. This was the real refined star rock. Yimo resisted his excitement. Just like his world rock, this refined star rock was covered with something. With this, Yimo had decided to cut half and use it upgrade Zisu. 3 days later, Yimo could only give up on cutting it in half. He chose to cut a 1/10. 6 days later, Yimo gave up a 1/10 and chose to cut a baby fist-sized. This stone was too hard to cut. 2 months later, Yimo barely melted the fist-sized refined star rock. Yimo took out Zisu. Before he even put the two near each other, Zisu vibrated itself. Clearly, this rock was extremely suitable. Yimo fused the met-lead refined star rock into Zisu. Zisu immediately began to change, but soon he found something wasn't right. Even with his help, TI was very hard for Zisu to upgrade. He couldn't control the shape, nor could he completely fuse the rock into Zisu. If he couldn't fuse it into Zisu, the chi would be exposed like the blue moon in the cultivation realm when he first added the Kuan scale. In the cultivation realm, he could use it, but in the immortal realm, Yimo definitely didn't dare to use Zisu in this state. It was probably because his power and flame level were too low. Even his immortal forgery skills were too low. Realizing this, Yimo used his immortal essence like crazy and even started to burn it. He couldn't care about the look of Zisu now. The most important thing was to fuse the refined star rock completely into Zisu. Another 3 months passed. Zisu made a crisp sound and spun above Yimo's head. Yimo breathed easy. He finally completely fused the refined star rock into Zisu. Zisu was upgraded to level 8 immortal artifact. The only pity was that the beautiful Zisu was forged into a magic artifact that was uglier than a kitchen knife. It looked like a strange butcher knife. Yimo shook his head. He didn't even use the pretty Zisu for a while, and it became uglier. At least it was many times stronger than before. Yimo got up and was ready to go to Changrong Heaven. There was still 2 months left. He could take the teleportation formation, but time was short. But then, Yimo was at a loss for words. He found he couldn't send Zisu into his storage ring. This meant that he could only put Zisu in the Golden Page world. How could this be? Putting it in the Golden Page world was inconvenient. If people noticed the existence of the Golden Page world, it wasn't good. Helplessly, he could only forge a simple sheath and put Zisu inside and hung the sheath on his back. Chapter 1751. Enemies Meet Again. Chapter 1751. Enemies meet again in an extremely large room in the Flying Dawn Immortal Tower. At least 10 people were waiting here. Yi Emo knew most of them. They included Li Kuin, Ji Shu, In Hui, Chi Baitsong, Ju Ruyan, and Li Kuin's martial brother Sii Shu. Ethereal Immortal Pawn Ning Yu, and that brother Chin also sat here. There were also a few Yi Emo hadn't seen before. The room seemed heavy. After a long while, Ning Yu sighed, "Sister Shiu, we've waited for 2 days, and your brother still isn't here. If we keep waiting, we might miss the immortal ship." Li Kuan fell silent for a moment and said, "I said I would wait for him. If I go now and he comes without seeing me here, he would be worried." "How about this? Martial Sister Ning, you will go first. Shiyu Goddess can wait for her brother here. If we're short on time, we can go first and make the immortal ship wait for a while first." The handsome man next to Ning Yu said. A few people heard this and immediately nodded in agreement. Li Kuan's face sunk. She said plainly, "Since martial brother Fongqin is in a rush, you guys can leave first. I'll wait here alone." Chi Baitsong sneered. "Martial brother Fong's influence is really great. Even the immortal ship can listen to you and wait. I admire you." Clearly most people knew that Fongqin claiming he could make the immortal ship wait was bullshit. The handsome man didn't seem to hear this and still had a face of smile. A purple-robed goddess sitting next to Ning Yu with her face covered said calmly, "Martial Sister Ning, you will wait another half day. If Yi Mo still doesn't come, we'll go." "Yes." Ning Yu and another female immortal immediately nodded. Clearly, they were very respectful to her. "Haha, brother Yi is here." Ji Shu suddenly laughed. Yi Mo appeared at the door of the room. He was confused. Li Kuan said to go find Peng Yu immortal fruit with him. Why were there so many people? Then he saw Chi Baitsong and them, and immediately went up to greet them. The atmosphere brightened up, but only Ji Shu and them greeted Yi Mo. The rest of them didn't move. These were all great eternity immortal here, and Yi Mo was only a great extreme immortal. "I knew you would make it. You broke through again." Li Kuan looked at Yi Mo joyfully. She saw Yi Mo reach great extreme immortal middle stage from great extreme immortal primary stage. She was planning to introduce the others to him, but since they couldn't be bothered waiting, she couldn't be bothered. Yi Mo showed an awkward look and sound transmission to Li Kuan. "Sister Shiu, I've actually hid my power. I've reached great eternity immortal primary stage a few years ago, but I've hid my power to great extreme immortal middle stage." The room fell silent and then instantly burst into laughter. Some were benign, some were malicious. The weakest here was great eternity immortal middle stage peak. The rest were either great eternity immortal tertiary stage or halfway immortal king. Yi Mo was a great eternity immortal primary stage and still hid his power. This was funny indeed. This wasn't the funniest. The sword on Yi Mo's back clearly didn't look like something good just looking at the sheath. Yet he put such a sword on his back to show off. Everyone here wasn't simple. They at least had top-grade immortal artifact or even extreme-grade immortal artifact. Yi Mo didn't care about these laughter. If he was willing, people definitely wouldn't be able to hear his sound transmission. He just wanted to reveal his true power and thus spilled his sound transmission. Li Kuan was very shocked. She knew how powerful Yi Mo was. Yi Mo was no weaker than any great eternity immortal peak stage. She suspected Yi Mo hid his power, but she knew that if Yi Mo really wanted to only sound transmission to her, the only explanation was that Yi Mo did it intentionally. Did Yi Mo really reach great eternity immortal in 5 years? This was too shocking. Li Kuan was very smart and immediately knew why Yi Mo did this. She pretended to be unhappy and said, "You're the weakest here. What is there to hide?" "Oh." There was extreme embarrassment on Yi Mo's face. He breathed easy. He knew Li Kuan would be suspicious, but he didn't worry. He trusted his eyes that Li Kuan wouldn't mention it. "Haha, brother Yi, you tricked me so hard. I really thought you were great extreme immortal. So you're actually a great eternity immortal. Your stealth cultivation method is quite good, Jishu laughed. Then Yin Hui, Chi Beitzong, Jiu Ruyan and them complimented Yi Mo's stealth cultivation method. Jiu Ruyan said joyfully, I was wondering why you knew something about great eternity immortal cultivation. So you're great eternity immortal already. Martial brother, Yi, I will be troubling you more in the future. Yi Mo quickly said, It's fine. If I know, I won't keep it a secret. Another reason he revealed his power is because little immortal king would definitely know he killed his great eternity immortal middle stage henchman. It wasn't rare for great eternity immortal primary stage to kill great eternity immortal middle stage, but if a great extreme immortal primary stage killed a great eternity immortal middle stage, this would definitely arouse suspicion. Ning Iyu's face was expressionless. Seeing her with a handsome great eternity immortal, Yi Mo knew that ethereal immortal pond probably chose a new saint. Fong Qing got up and said, Since everyone is here, we should hurry up. We'll discuss on the immortal ship. Where are we going? Yi Mo asked. Li Kun smiled and gave Yi Mo a jade card. This is the card I got for you. Take it. We're taking immortal ship to the first heaven domain Qing Wei heaven and listen to the arrangements of immortal emperor. Seeing Yi Mo being confused, Chi Beitzong patted his shoulder. Brother, you don't underestimate this card. Not anyone can get this. Your sister spent quite some effort to get this. Yi Mo still asked, since we're going to Qing Wei heaven, why not take teleportation formation? Li Kun explained because we still have mission this time. It would take around 1 year to go to Qing Wei heaven. During this time, all the immortals with the jade card must capture void flying snow. Only the top 1,000 can get to see immortal emperor master. Yi Mo immediately wasn't too willing to go. Plus Qing Wei heaven is very far. If we all take teleportation formation there, ordinary immortals, I'll be able to afford it. Jiu Ruyan said. Yi Mo nodded. Li Kun did this for his benefit. If he didn't go, Li Kun wouldn't be able to decide it even if she got the fruit. Yi Mo thought that when he was great extreme immortal primary stage, that middle-aged man still didn't find the golden page world. Now he was great eternity immortal, as long as he kept his golden page world in the depth of his sea of consciousness. Even the immortal emperor wouldn't be able to find it. Thinking about this, Yi Mo breathed easy. Everyone went to the teleportation formation to go to Fun Du Heavens, Jia Kuei, Immortal City. The immortal ship was stationed there. Hearing everyone discussion, Yi Mo realized that Qing Wei Heaven's position was like Yuan Lu Heaven in the Middle Heaven Domain. It was the Num-1 Heaven Domain in the Grand Heaven Domains. It was extremely far from the other 10 Grand Heaven Domains and needed to cross the realm border. This super long-distance teleportation formation is insanely expensive. At the same time, Yi Mo knew the purple-robed female immortal is the new saint of ethereal immortal pond, Miyin. Yi Mo had heard of the Fan Du Heaven. When he was in the pond in the Chaos Star realm, the skeleton told him to kill 9 Fan immortal pawns Yu Jinxiang. He rejected it immediately. He was only a golden immortal at the time. There was no way Yi Mo was going to 9 Fan immortal pond. He couldn't be bothered asking where it was either. After coming to the immortal city, Yi Mo followed them to the place where the immortal ship was. When they got there, the place was filled with immortals from other heaven domains. Most of them were great eternity immortal tertiary stage. Some were great eternity immortal middle stage. It's you. A cold voice sounded. Yi Mo shook upon hearing this voice. He knew this voice all too well. He turned around, and it was the young Yen Jutian who stood before him. Chapter 1752. Yen Jutian's Secret. Chapter 1752. Yen Jutian's secret, intense killing. Intent came from Yen Jutian. Yi Mo clenched his fists. He knew why Yan Jiutian wanted to kill him, but what made him feel unacceptable was that Yan Jiutian's cultivation level was higher than his. Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. Yi Mo was certain he saw right. Yi Mo bit his lips with a calm face, but his heart was rumbling. No matter how talented Yan Jiutian was, how could he be Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage? This was impossible. When he got the Time Formation Disc, that weakened essence spirit said his Time Formation Disc couldn't be found in the immortal realm. If he didn't have Time Formation Disc, where did Yan Jiutian's power come from? Yi Mo had Time Formation Disc and was constantly looking for resources. His fortunes were very good too. On top of that, he AHD the Golden Page World and Bitter Bamboo. Only then did he reach Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage. This speed was unparalleled, and yet Yan Jiutian was faster than him. Even if Yan Jiutian had the Time Formation Disc and top-grade cultivation resource, he couldn't reach Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. His foundation wasn't stable, nor was his mind state. This was a big taboo for cultivation. There was no way a prodigy like Yan Jiutian didn't know this. You hid power last time like me. I was wondering how there could be an abstruse immortal as powerful as you. Yi Mo stared at Yan Jiutian and said. Yan Jiutian's eyes shot out with icy coldness and said, I trust one didn't see wrong last time. You definitely didn't hide your power like last time. Your cultivation speed is so fast that I don't dare to believe. I'll tell you this, I didn't hide my power last time as well. Yi Mo's eyes narrowed. He knew that Yan Jiutian didn't fear at all. Yan Jiutian was certain he didn't dare to spill his secrets. Yi Mo's killing intent also rose and stared at Yan Jiutian. His killing intent rushed over like crazy too. Did your little worm get crushed to death last time? Yi Mo felt happy seeing Yan Jiutian's killing intent seep out like crazy. He was certain Yan Jiutian didn't dare to fight here. As expected, Yan Jiutian's face went black hearing this. A dark mist rotated around his wrist. Yan Jiutian seemed to be able to control himself very well. That black mist just spun once and disappeared. Yi Mo frowned. He suddenly had this strange feeling. He knew that mist was Yan Jiutian's trump card and best magic artifact. But this time when he saw the mist, he had a familiar feeling. Not because he fought with it before. Haha, what little worm. Chi Baitsong laughed and stood by Yi Mo's side. Then he looked challengingly at Yan Jiutian. Chi Baitsong saw Yan Jiutian's killing intent for Yi Mo. Yan Jiutian sneered. He glanced at Chi Baitsong and said, I hope you're as lucky next time. I will let you know the consequence of taking my things. Then he turned to leave. He knew he couldn't fight here. Kid, you're very cocky. Do you think you're Heaven Domain Heaven Lord or Ancient Divine Emperor? Idiot, you're just a mere Great Eternity Immortal. Why are you so cocky? Chi Baitsong spat. Yan Jiutian was furious. His killing intent went crazy and that black mist appeared at his wrist again, but he still forbeared this time. Hearing Qi Baitsong's words, Yi Mo suddenly woke up. He finally remembered that familiar feeling. Yan Jiutian's black mist line had this ancient qi that was similar to the ruin in the immortal graveyard range. This meant that Yan Jiutian's line probably came from the ancient ruin, but when he saw Yan Jiutian, he was only abstruse immortal. What right did an abstruse immortal have to touch ancient ruin? Even if he went there and obtained the black mist, how could he use it so easily and fluently? Yi Mo saw with his own eyes how Yan Jiutian could change the black mist into spear, arrows, rivers. Yi Mo had used Zisu for decades, but his control of Zisu was far weaker than Yan Jiutian's control of the Black Line. Yi Mo had the feeling that the Black Line was a part of Yan Jiutian. How old was Yan Jiutian? Yi Mo was certain that Yan Jiutian was younger than him. How could such a young person have such experience in controlling an ancient black mist? Yi Mo thought of his first encounter with Yan Jiutian. He called himself immortal. According to what Yemo knew, all immortals below great immortals were considered cultivators and didn't have the right to call themselves immortals. Of course, there were shameless heaven immortals who called themselves immortals. Clearly, Yan Jiutian wasn't this type. Thinking about how young Yan Jiutian was and how fast he progressed, Yemo suspected that Yan Jiutian was possessed. Yan Jiutian's essence spirit before possession was very complete. He didn't need to possess to recover his body, but he chose possession. If this was really it, Yan Jiutian's cultivation speed could be explained. An ancient immortal had the ability to recover his body, but instead, he chose possession. This meant that the target was definitely the best amongst best talent. Such person had no bottleneck. He would be able to keep progressing if he had resource, or perhaps recover his power. Last time he met Yan Jiutian, there was one small level difference, but now there was two small level difference. The next time they met, the difference would probably be even greater. Yemo was desperate, but there was nothing he could do. No wonder he could know space law when he was abstruse immortal. What worried Yemo more was if this person recognized the world rock. He just hoped that since world rock was spirit controlled by him and Yan Jiutian's power was too weak at the time that he didn't have the time to check his world rock during battle. But Yemo knew quite possibly that Yan Jiutian might have recognized it. Yemo, what are you thinking? It's a mere great eternity immortal tertiary stage. No need to be scared of him. Chi Baitsong patted Yemo, who was frowning in thought. What's wrong? Li Kuan and them all came over. Yemo shook his head. Nothing. I met an unfriendly person, never mind. Seeing this, the people deigned ask. They discussed about how to capture void flying snow. The group gathered together in discussion. Yemo didn't listen in at all. His spirit sense, net, improved greatly. He would be able to capture void flying snow easily. Yemo suddenly asked, if you can control a law and use that law to capture void flying snow, would it be very easy? Li Kuan looked at Yemo in confusion. She knew Yemo knew a sliver of space law, but she warned Yemo to not tell anyone. What was Yemo doing now? Ji Shu shook his head. First of all, it's extremely hard for great immortal to control law. Even if they can, it would only be a sliver. That would still be very hard to use to capture void flying snow. What law is the strongest? Yemo asked. Everyone was used to how clueless Yemo was. Unexpectedly, the saint from Ethereal Immortal Pond said, in fact, any law is the most terrifying power in the universe if you cultivate it to the extreme. Of course, if you had to divide it, then for us low-grade immortals, time law is probably his strongest. Yemo felt strange the saint didn't laugh at him, and instead explained to him, but he continued asking, Thank you, Martial Sister Saint, for enlightening me. Then, if you cultivate space law to the extreme, would it be not as powerful as time law? Yemo asked the most idiotic question, and people couldn't be bothered looking down on him, but they all felt strange why Ethereal Immortal Pond Saint would answer him. The saint thought for a moment and replied seriously, in fact, if you cultivate space law to the extreme, it's no weaker than time law, but no one has been able to. Then, since the ancient times, which people in the immortal realm have great mastery over space law and time law, Yemo finally asked the question he wanted to ask. If Yan Jiutian was possessed by an ancient immortal and could control a sliver of space law as abstruse immortal, this meant he was previously a powerful being who controlled space law. Chapter 1753. A Mere Grand Emperor. Chapter 1753. A mere Grand Emperor, a great eternity immortal whom Yemo didn't help the saint answer. It's probably Truth Divine Emperor, who knows time law the most. Other than him, there's Scorch Divine Emperor. He can even make time flow backwards. Compared to time law, there are much more powerful beings who know space law, such as Ancient Peng Emperor, Daolis Grand Emperor, Wushuang Grand Emperor, Lingu Grand Emperor. Yemo saluted with his fists. Thank you, Martial Brother. I know Truth Divine Emperor, Peng Emperor, and Wu Shuang Grand Emperor. But who is Scorched Divine Emperor, Taoist Grand Emperor, and Lin Gu Grand Emperor? Seeing that Yi Mo was low cultivation level and didn't know much but seemed very respectful, he nodded in satisfaction. Some people who didn't know this also listened on the side. Scorched Divine Emperor's name is Bai Zhuohan. It said he has the number 2 rare flame of the world, Astral River Red. It also reached God Flame and devoured Astral Flame Marrow, becoming the King of Flames. He used God Flame to vindicate Tao and is a powerful being, just below Truth Divine Emperor. It's said that after the battle with Truth Divine Emperor, he never appeared again. Hearing this, everyone sighed. At their level, Truth Divine Emperor and Scorched Divine Emperor were Tao vindication divinities, but they still died. One could see that in the vast universe, there were no immortals who wouldn't die. Great Eternity Immortal saw everyone was listening in and continued, Taoist Grand Emperor's name is Yen Wudao. He came later than Truth Divine Emperor and Scorched Divine Emperor. He's also a very powerful being. In the ancient cosmos, powerful beings weren't as rare as today. There were tens of half-divine emperors. It's said he disappeared after Tao vindication failure. Hearing Taoist Grand Emperor's surname was Yen, Yemo wanted to keep asking, but someone asked first. Scorched Divine Emperor vindicated Tao through God Flame. How did Taoist Grand Emperor vindicate Tao? Taoist Grand Emperor was extremely talented. His Tao vindication method is something others don't even dare to think. Everyone listened in wanting to know what it was. The Great Eternity Immortal sighed. Taoist Grand Emperor is indeed a rare prodigy of the heavens. He wanted to use the 33 heavens to vindicate his Tao. No one can understand his prodigy idea, but one thing is certain. If he could vindicate Tao through the 33 heaven domains, his power would be unimaginable. Yi Mo didn't understand how that would work, and neither did the rest of the people. That Great Eternity Immortal said, no one can understand that. It said that Taoist Grand Emperor suddenly failed after vindicating the 24th heaven domain and died. Ever since then, there was no news of Taoist Grand Emperor. The Great Eternity Immortal continued to talk about Lin Gu Grand Emperor, but Yi Mo was 80% certain that Yin Jiutian was Taoist Grand Emperor. After vindicating 24 heaven domains, he was 9 heaven domains away from success. This had become his obsession. He chose the name Yin Jiutian 9 heavens, probably because he still wants to vindicate the 33 heavens. Yi Mo heard the Great Eternity Immortal say that the Taoist Grand Emperor only cared about his own thoughts, and thus offended many people. Yi Mo thought this meant that Yin Jiutian wouldn't dare to let others know who he was. Yi Mo finally rested easy a little now. Yi Mo suddenly thought of one thing and saluted with his fists, asking, Martial brother, I heard you said Scorched Divine Emperor used God Flame Astral River Red to devour Astral Flame Marrow. What does Astral Flame Marrow look like? I saw in an ancient jade slip that Astral Flame Marrow is a soft or that is very high temperature. Is this true? The Great Eternity Immortal smiled and shook his head. No, the reason Astral Flame Marrow is rare is because it's very hard to grow. The soft tofu-like structure you mentioned is the first state of the Astral Flame Marrow. These usually exist in very desolate places in the immortal realm or some cultivation realm. If it's in the cultivation realm, this state of the Astral Flame Marrow is the hardest to collect. Even the truth realization state, cultivators, wouldn't be able to get near it. However, this state of Astral Flame River is the most precious. If you get it and use it to Nirvana Heaven Flame, it would be the best. When this flame grows to a certain level in the cultivation realm, it would gradually expand its range until burning a radius of 100 million km till everything in the entire realm. Then it would hide into the void. Only Astral Flame Marrow that hides into the void is real Astral Flame Marrow. It would be stealthed and protected by Void Flame. Ordinary people wouldn't even be able to see it. Even if they see it, they wouldn't be able to get it. That's why it's so precious. In this state, the marrow would gradually lose its temperature. When it matures to a certain level, it would be covered by void flame outside while the inside is liquid. This liquid is extremely cold but doesn't form ice. Only this is true void flame marrow. Yi Mo suppressed his excitement and saluted with his fists in gratitude. He didn't expect he accidentally got astral flame arrow in the first state and used it to nirvana blue like morning sky. Suddenly, an extremely loud voice sounded. Those with a card participating in the fight for Pengyu Immortal Fruit get on the ship. Yi Mo had been on the immortal ship many times, but this was the first time he saw one this big. There were 1,000,000 immortals, but each had a good cultivation room. Yi Mo got one too. It was large, and there were 2 rooms. The immortal spirit chi was very dense too. The grand heaven domain was indeed different. Now, everyone went into their own cultivation room. Yi Mo stayed inside his thinking about things. He wasn't going to cultivate as he would need too much resources. Yi Mo only sat in his room for 2 hours or so, and the restriction on the door was touched. Yi Mo waved it open, and Yan Jiutian quickly came in and set up his own barrier restriction. Yi Mo got up and stared at Yan Jiutian coldly. He wasn't afraid of him. Yan Jiutian didn't dare to fight in here. Even if he did, Yi Mo didn't believe he would lose. When he was abstruse immortal middle stage, Yan Jiutian was abstruse immortal tertiary stage. They were almost evenly matched. Although Yan Jiutian was 2 levels higher than him now, he learned a few powerful god arts coming out of the Tao-seeking tower. Yi Mo didn't dare to underestimate this Yan Jiutian, however. He was a half-divine emperor. He probably knew much more about god art than him. It was probably very hard to win, Yan Jiutian. You have quite some C-sits. I thought that world rock was your biggest secret, but you also have time formation disk. If I'm not wrong, Truth Divine Emperor's time formation disk is on your right? Yan Jiutian's voice was so bleak that it made Yi Mo feel. He went back to the immortal graveyard range. Yi Mo's heart sunk. Yan Jiutian indeed knew about the world rock and now even the time formation disk. But it wasn't hard to guess. Without the time formation disk, how could he cultivate so fast? Yan Jiutian's voice was even colder. Give me time formation disk and spirit will 9 transformations. I'll let you live. Yan Jiutian didn't ask for world rock. He knew that Yi Mo would definitely not give him that. Although the world rock was far from as precious as the time formation disk, but world rock was what Yi Mo relied upon for survival. Looking at Yi Mo's contemptuous gaze, Yan Jiutian wasn't worried at all and continued, "If you infuriate me, I'll just say you have world rock and time formation disk. Even if I don't get it, you will be dead for certain." Yi Mo sneered and pointed outside. "Go say it, I'll be waiting." Yan Jiutian's eyes narrowed. He didn't expect Yi Mo wasn't afraid of this. Did this guy know that he didn't want others to know the time formation disk appeared? The time formation disk was much more important to him than Yi Mo, at least to a mortal emperor. He would have no bottleneck. He just needed to convert cultivation resource to power. "You're not scared." Yan Jiutian's killing intent rose, forming invisible ripple around the space. "I even took Truth Divine Emperor's world rock. Why would I be scared of a mere Taoist Grand Emperor? You overestimate yourself." Yi Mo sneered. Yan Jiutian's face changed. Immediately a black mist line appeared with screeching, killing intent. Yan Jiutian's face changed. Immediately a black mist line appeared with screeching, killing intent. Yi Mo sneered, and his power also rose. Yan Jiutian eventually didn't attack. That black mist slowly retreated. But he didn't look at Yi Mo with just killing intent. There was deep concern, too. He knew that he couldn't kill Yi Mo here. If he attacked, it would startle the immortal ship people. If his identity was spilled, he would have no place to bury himself, much less vindicate Tao. "How did you know who I am?" Yan Jiutian put up a few more restrictions and asked coldly. Yi Mo felt great. Yan Jiutian knew some of his secret, but, comparatively, he knew more his Yan Jiutian's secret. He could deny he had time formation disk, but Yan Jiutian couldn't deny he was Taoist Grand Emperor. How I know, that isn't important. More importantly, I know that you'll probably have to chance your name and face after coming back from Qingwei Heaven. Yi Mo sneered at Yan Jiutian. Someone like Yan Jiutian wouldn't talk to others. Even if he had to contact them, he wouldn't use the same identity. If it wasn't for the Pengyu immortal fruit, Yi Mo knew Yan Jiutian probably wouldn't come. But Yan Jiutian probably never even dreamed that an abstruse immortal he saw in the Middle Heaven domain would be on the same boat to Qingwei Heaven a few decades later. Yan Jiutian didn't answer, and just asked Yi Mo again, "How did you know it?" "Who do you think you are? I need to tell you? Piff off, otherwise don't blame me for attacking Taoist Grand Emperor." Yi Mo said plainly, "Shut up." The veins on Yan Jiutian's head was bulging. He was scared of Yi Mo calling him Taoist Grand Emperor the most. "Really? I'm going to call you Taoist Grand Emperor. When I go out, everyone on the immortal ship will know that Taoist Grand Emperor is here." Yi Mo laughed, not taking Yan Jiutian's threat seriously. Die. Yan Jiutian couldn't resist the fury in his heart. Ever since he came out, when was he threatened like this? His black mist turned into a very fine needle that was 10 meters long. Yi Mo's room wasn't big, but this long needle had completely bound the space in Yi Mo's room. Yi Mo didn't dodge. Yan Jiutian used to be an immortal emperor. Even if he couldn't use Immortal King domain, he was able to seal the space nearby with his great eternity immortal tertiary stage power. Plus, this person was experienced in space law. At the same time, Yi Mo's world rock fell. He used almost 80% of his immortal essence on his first attack. He didn't dare to take Yan Jiutian lightly. Although the world rock looked very scary when falling down, it wasn't a real god art. Yi Mo knew this wasn't a life and death battle. Yan Jiutian didn't use full power. He didn't need to as well. He just needed to create a big scene. Seeing Yi Mo act like this, Yan Jiutian's face changed. Yi Mo's immortal essence was far beyond his expectation. If the world rock fell like this, even if he smashed the world rock to the side, it would startle other people. He was scared of that the most. He had concerns, but Yi Mo didn't. Even if Yi Mo had time formation disk, he only needed to hand it out and he might be able to live, but he would be dead for sure. Instantly, Yan Jiutian took back the black mist line and changed into a net, stopped the world rock. Yan Jiutian knew that Yi Mo's immortal essence was only that much weaker than his. This meant he couldn't instantly kill Yi Mo. "Stop! There's no benefit in fighting for either of us." Yan Jiutian yelled. Yi Mo sneered but didn't have any intentions of stopping, while his immortal essence kept urging the world rock as though preparing for the next attack. He said coldly, "If you want to fight, then we fight. If you want to stop, then we stop. Who do you think you are?" Yan Jiutian knew that Yi Mo was only threatening him. Otherwise, Yi Mo could release his sword. He was furious, but he could only say, "Stop first, we'll discuss." Yi Mo didn't take back the world rock and kept exerting pressure while saying, "What's there to discuss between us? I only have a world rock. If the immortal king wants it, then take it. I don't care. By the way, I didn't get the time formation disk, believe it or not, up to you." Yi Mo's world rock broke free from the net and was going to smash down. Yi Mo was never going to admit the time formation disk. Even though Yan Jiutian was certain it was on him, he wasn't going to admit it. "Stop, I'll agree to a condition of yours." Yan Jiutian eventually succumbed. He was beginning to suspect if Yi Mo really got the time formation disk. If Yi Mo got the time formation disk, he should be scared to show it. Okay then. Yi Mo let the world rock hover above his head. Yan Jiutian knew Yi Mo was acting, but there was nothing he could do. To him, his life wasn't on the same level as Yi Mo's life. Even 10,000 Yi Mo wasn't worth his life. If this idiot brought out the powerful beings on the immortal ship, he would be over. Seeing Yi Mo stopped fighting, Yan Jiutian was about to leave. He regretted coming here. He should have found an opportunity in the void to kill Yi Mo. I haven't said my condition. Are you going to go? Yi Mo said plainly. Yan Jiutian turned around. The fury was gone. He said, calmly, say it. I paid a heavy price to come to the Grand Heaven Domain. How did you come up here? Yi Mo asked. Because I have a low-grade god artifact time-space boat. Yan Jiutian said. Low-grade god artifact? Yi Mo was immediately interested, even though he refined Blue Moon many times and brought it to top-grade flying immortal artifact. It wasn't enough compared to god artifact. If he had low-grade god artifact, he would be able to fly from Grand Heaven Domain to Middle Heaven Domain in 5 years and Middle to Low Heaven Domain in a year. He needed this desperately. Otherwise, taking a mortal ship would take decades to get from Grand to Middle Heaven Domain, and the ticket was a fortune. Seeing Yi Mo about to drool, Yan Jiutian said in contempt, Time-space boat has countless replicas, Yi Mo said with joy. Yours is the real one, right? Mine is only an ordinary replica. Yan Jiutian said calmly. He'll leave it with Yi Mo for a few days. He wasn't afraid he couldn't kill Yi Mo in the void. Yi Mo was shook. Even a replica, a low-grade god artifact, was this powerful. How powerful was the real one? Yi Mo looked at Yan Jiutian and said, Give me your time-space boat and you can go. I won't spill your identity. Unexpectedly, Yan Jiutian threw an extremely pretty boat to Yi Mo without hesitation and left. Yi Mo destroyed Yan Jiutian's restriction and closed the door before setting up his own restriction. He knew what Yan Jiutian thought. The reason he gave it to him so quickly was because he considered him dead. But Yan Jiutian can keep dreaming if he thought he would be able to get back things from his hands. Unless Yan Jiutian reached Immortal King, otherwise he wouldn't be able to stop him. Even if he can't beat Yan Jiutian wouldn't be able to keep him. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense in the boat. There seemed to be countless restriction. Yi Mo was afraid Li Kuan and them would come for him, so he hung a solitary cultivation card outside the door before going in the room to spirit control the space-time boat. Anything could happen in the void. He would be able to use this to escape. Yan Jiutian was extra careful while controlling this boat. He found all the marks that Yan Jiutian left on the boat. A month passed quickly. During this time, Li Kuan, Jishu, Qi Beitsong, and them came to see Mo, but seeing the solitary cultivation card, they could only leave speechlessly. A month passed quickly. During this time, Li Kuan, Jishu, Qi Beitsong, and them came to see Mo, but seeing the solitary cultivation card, they could only leave speechlessly. They were very little people who even cultivated on the immortal ship, much less go into solitary cultivation. This ship was going to stop halfway, and then people would be going out to capture void flying snow. There were very little people like Yi Mo who used even this time. However, they did admire Yi Mo's hard-working attitude. Li Kuan came to Yi Mo a few times, but Yi Mo was always in solitary cultivation. Seeing that the time for capturing void flying snow was coming, Li Kuan was desperate, but there was nothing she could do. 2 months later, the time-space boat in Yi Mo's hands buzzed and the dark blue color receded. Everything inside it cleared appeared in Yi Mo's brain. Yi Mo was overjoyed. He had completely spirit-controlled this time-space boat. The inside space was tens of times larger than Blue Moon, and the layout was also very grand. Spirit-gathering immortal formations were already set up. One only needed to put immortal crystals inside to use. Even the defense formation was far stronger than Blue Moon's. There were all sorts of sensory formations too. It was like the void flying snow and could avoid dangers in the void. At the tail of the boat, there was 2 propelling formations. If the time-space boat went forward at full speed, these propelling formations would activate and accelerate the time-space boat. What EMO liked the most about the void location disk at the front was that, although it couldn't pinpoint the exact location in the void, but it could point the approximate location of each heaven domain as well as its name. It might not be as fast as the void flying snow in the void, but the void flying snow was a headless fly in the void. After flying for a few decades, it might get back to where it started, but the time-space boat had a clear direction and can be controlled. EMO was very happy with this. He finally had a decent flying magic artifact. Even if fake time-space boat was this powerful, then just how powerful was the real one? That magic artifact would on the same level as his time formation disk. Thinking about this, EMO realized that although he had a lot of insane treasures, most of them are supplementary. He didn't have a real offensive and defensive treasure. He upgraded Su relentlessly before finally bringing it to a level 8 immortal artifact. The World Rock was just a small rock on the World Rock. The only decent magic artifact was the How Heaven Drum, but EMO didn't dare to use it. If he did, then even an idiot would know he got the How Heaven heritage. He lacked a defensive magic artifact, EMO sighed. He was a level 8 Immortal Forgery Grandmaster and could forge a top-grade defensive immortal artifact, but that really wasn't exciting for EMO. After sighing, EMO put away the time-space boat and took off the solitary cultivation card. Just when EMO wanted to go find Likuin, he saw the ethereal immortal pond saint come over to him. EMO quickly saluted with his fists, "Greet Martial, Sister Saint." The saint helped him a lot. If it wasn't for her, he might not even know Yin Jiuqian was Daolis Grand Emperor. That way, he would be the one threatened this time. Under that situation, he might even lose the time formation disk. "Martial brother, ye just call me Yin. I want to have a sit in your room, is that okay?" Yin smiled. Her tone was very soft and charming. EMO didn't know why she came to him, but she didn't look at him with scorn like others and answered his questions too. "Martial sister Yin, please come in." EMO quickly moved aside and said, "Thank you, Martial brother Yin then hung up the solitary cultivation sign for EMO again. Seeing this, EMO put on the restrictions again and asked after she sat down, "Martial sister Yin, what business do you have with me? Can I come see you? I heard you went to the ethereal immortal well. We're half a sect member." Saint Yin laughed. There was a sliver of airiness in her tone. EMO dazed. Were saints supposed to be formal and serious? Ning EU found a man, and now Yin didn't seem to act like a saint. Seeing EMO daze, Yin took back her smile and acted a little more serious. "Martial brother, I indeed need your help." EMO quickly said, "Martial sister Yin, please say it. If it's something I can help with and not against my heart, I'm willing to help." Yin got up and thanked before saying, "Martial brother, ye can hide your power to be great extreme immortal middle stage as great eternity immortal primary stage, and no one could see through it at all. One could say that Martial brother Ye's stealth cultivation method is definitely the best." Hearing this, EMO immediately realized that there was nothing free in this world indeed. Yin answered a few questions and wanted his cultivation method. Those questions were life questions to EMO, but clearly she didn't know this. Since she didn't, it was over the line for her to ask for cultivation method. Yin continued, "Yin knows this request is over the line, but that stealth cultivation method is very important to me. Martial brother, you can ask for conditions. As long as Yin can do it, I definitely will. Please just give me a copy of that stealth cultivation method." EMO didn't answer. His stealth cultivation method came from Three Birth Chant. Although she helped him, there was no way he was going to give his cultivation method. "Because my master told me to not spread the cultivation method to anyone else. Martial sister Yin is someone I respect. I can't reject you straight up. So, let me think about this again." EMO said. There was no way he would give the stealth cultivation method from Three Birth Chant to her, but he had plenty of cultivation method in his storage ring. He would find one and complete it and then give it to her. "Thank you, Marshal Brother Yi." Mi Yin was overjoyed and got up to thank. Seeing Emo get up ready to send her out, Mi Yin left behind a jade slip and said, "This is the way to capture void flying snow. Hope it might help Marshal Brother Yi a little." Just when Emo wanted to rejected this, he remembered he needed this. When Li Kuan came to Emo, she found that the restriction was open. She rejoiced and walked over, but then saw Mi Yin Saint come out of Emo's room. Seeing Li Kuan dazing, Mi Yin greeted politely, "Mi Yin greet Sister Shiyu." Li Kuan just reacted and smiled awkwardly and chatted with her a little before going in Emo's room. "Brother, Mi Yin is ethereal immortal pond saint. Don't get too close to her. Due to Ning Yu, the ethereal immortal pond wouldn't allow this thing to happen again. If it does, they might punish seriously." Li Kuan said, immediately worried that Emo would be enticed by Mi Yin. Emo smiled. "I know. Don't worry, Sister Shiyu." Li Kuan nodded and added, "The reason Ning Yu is fine is because Fongqin comes from Fongjinshan, a place with a few immortal emperor. The ethereal immortal pawn doesn't dare to mess with them." Emo nodded, and seeing a sliver of worry on her face, he asked, "What's wrong?" Li Kuan immediately said, "Someone wants to kill Qi Beitsong. I came to ask you what to do." Emo wondered. This immortal ship was going towards Qing Wei Heaven, who had the guts to kill on this ship. Li Kuan quickly said he was challenged. If immortals have conflict on the ship, they can resolve the issue through duels on the battle stage. If you refuse the challenge, you must accept an insulting condition of the challenger. Qi Beitsong was challenged, but with his young city lord status, how can he accept an insulting condition? "However, I delayed the time. I said to wait for you to come out first." Li Kuan quickly said he was challenged. If immortals have conflict on the ship, they can resolve the issue through duels on the battle stage. If you refuse the challenge, you must accept an insulting condition of the challenger. Qi Beitsong was challenged, but with his young city lord status, how can he accept an insulting condition? "However, I delayed the time. I said to wait for you to come out first." Hearing this, Emo breathed easy. This meant Qi Beitsong was fine for now. Who challenged him? Emo asked. Li Kuan explained, "Qi Beitsong offended Fendu Heaven East Abyss Emperor Sect Xiang Changyong. Xiang Changyong is great eternity immortal peak stage and very powerful. He's very famous amongst Fendu Heaven great immortals, but he's very murderous and violent. During these 2 months, he used challenges to kill quite some people." Emo nodded and put the restriction back on his room before going with Li Kuan to see Qi Beitsong. Qi Beitsong was a young city lord, but like Ji Shu, he didn't have any bad habits and was quite a good person. He was genuine to friends. The only bad thing about him was he was a bit immersed in lust. When Emo and Li Kuan entered Qi Beitsong's room, he found there were more than 10 people inside. They all came over from Changrong Heaven. Qi Beitsong's face was back. Clearly he knew he was no match for Xiang Sihanyong. Seeing Emo come here, he nodded. Ji Shu and them got up and greeted the two. "Brother Ji, what is going on?" Emo looked at Ji Shu and asked. Ji Shu sighed and glanced at Qi Beitsong that Xiang Changyong is too cocky. Beitsong is too careless and went to chat up Demon Joy sect, Hua Rushua. Hua Rushua is an evil woman. She tricked Beitsong's things and told Xiang Changyong to kill Beitsong. Quite a few people Xiang Changyong killed on the ship were due to Hua Rushua. Emo had heard of Demon Joy sect from Li Kuan. This was an infamous sect. No one inside the sect was good. Regardless, now that Qi Beitsong was targeted, Emo wasn't going to watch this. When Yan Jiutian threatened him, Qi Beitsong was the first to stand up for him. "I think we should let a person who is as strong as Xiang Changyong to discuss with him. If he knows that we're not weaker than him, perhaps he would step down." Ji Shu looked at Fongqin. It was obvious that he was the strongest here. Yemo remembered there was a halfway immortal king guy, but clearly the guy didn't want trouble, so he didn't come. Fong Chan wasn't dumb. Seeing everyone look at him, he coughed that Xiang Changyong is from East Abyss Emperor sect. Their power is no weaker than us Fangji Mountain, and those around him are the extreme grade great immortals from Fundu Heaven. Jiao Fan Immortal Pon Saint Yi is just one sliver away from Immortal King. Our power is so much weaker than theirs. I feel like a man should be able to see the times Marshal Brother Bates song doesn't have to fight him head-on. Fong Chin clearly meant for Chi Bates song to surrender. If one surrenders, not only does he ruin his own reputation, but the reputation of his sect. The victor can make the other person do anything that was insulting. If Chi Bates song surrendered, he might as well die. Brother QI, it's just a small thing. A mere Xiang Changyong is nothing. Yi Mo ignored Fong Chen's idea. This was an idiot idea. Chi Bates song's face is bad, but hearing this, he laughed. Brother Yi is right. There's only a Chi Bates song that dies in battle. There's no QI Bates song that kneels down. Xiang Changyong challenged me. I'm a great eternity immortal tertiary stage. How can I be scared of him? Who will send the battle invitation for me? Everyone in the room dazed. Everyone knew that Chi Bates song had to fight, but none of them persuaded Chi Bates song to fight. Doing that was asking him to die. This EMO just straight up encouraged Chi Bates song to die. Ji Shu and them sighed. They were close to Chi Bates song, and of course they knew EMO was right. Ning Yu looked at EMO and shook her head. Fong Chin sneered and said nothing. Even he was no match for Xiang Changyong. Instead of going to die, Chi Bates song might as well suicide. He came here due to Ning Yu, and Ning Yu came here due to Li Kuan. Yi Mo laughed. Of course I'm going. Ning Yu looked worriedly at Li Kuan and said, Shiyu, your brother. Li Kuan smiled but wasn't worried. She knew Yi Mo's power too well. He was definitely no weaker than Xiang Changyong. She also knew Yi Mo wasn't the type to let his friends go die. He lives at Fundu Heaven region, room A138. Help me set it to 3 days later. Chi Bates song said, I'll go with you. Ji Shu got up and said, Yi Mo waved his hand. No need. I'll go alone. It's a mere battle invitation. Yi Mo said to Li Kuan, Sister, she wait for me here. I'll go find Xiang Changyong. I'll be back soon. Then, Yi Mo turned to leave without wasting any time. Seeing this, everyone fell silent. The one who helped Yi Mo explain the space law before said, I feel that although Marshal Brother Yi is impulsive, his words are right. We're immortal cultivators. How can we fear a battle? Dying in battle is better than living like a dog. Okay, everyone who came here today is my friend. I'm glad you didn't leave me in my most difficult time. I'll treat everyone. Then, Chi Bates song took out barrels of wine and opened them up. Aroma spilled. Everyone knew this was Chi Bates song's treasured stock. He probably knew he was going to lose for sure, so he shared it with everyone. The wine was great, but everyone wasn't in a good mood. They even felt guilty. They didn't leave Chi Bates song, but none of them were able to help him. Instead, it was Yi Mo who sent the battle invitation for him. If we had a master like Lu Meng who would dare to challenge us. Hui finished a barrel and smashed it. Everyone fell silent. They knew he was right. They were a group. They grouped up to increase their power and not be abused. But now, Chi Bates song was about to be killed, but no one dared to say anything. The Heaven Domain regions were distinct on the immortal ship. Yi Mo left Chongrong Heaven area and soon found Fundu Heaven area. A 138 was very easy to find. There wasn't even a restriction on this room. The room was very noisy. Yi Mo walked to the door, and the 30 immortals inside looked at Yi Mo. None of them knew Yi Mo. Who are you? What business do you have here? A cold voice sounded. It was a great eternity immortal tertiary stage. It doesn't matter who I am. I came to send the battle invitation. Yi Mo sneered. not fearing the 30 great eternity immortal at all. After a brief silence, the room burst into laughter as though finding Yimo's serious attitude amusing. Yimo waited for the laughter to calm down before saying, "Who is Xian Changyong? I'm challenging you." A bulky man got up suddenly. At the same time, his killing intent exploded out into a line towards Yimo and exploded before him. Yimo stood at the door and didn't move. It was like the killing intent met an invisible barrier. The force looked dominating, but Yimo's hair didn't even move. With this, everyone in the room's faces changed. Everyone here was at least very strong in the same level. Yimo was a great eternity immortal primary stage, and could stop such powerful killing intent without his hair even moving wasn't simple. With this, everyone in the room's faces changed. Everyone here was at least very strong in the same level. Yimo was a great eternity immortal primary stage, and could stop such powerful killing intent without his hair even moving wasn't simple. In fact, other than Yimo, everyone else's clothes moved, but they knew the killing intent was just targeted at Yimo. The bulky man's eyes narrowed. He was very strong and had a strong background too, but he wasn't dumb. He investigated those who he challenges. He investigated Qi Baitsong's friends. Other than that Wei Chou, who was halfway immortal king, and that Fong Qin. He didn't consider everyone else a threat. He knew Qi Baitsong also had a great eternity immortal primary stage, but seeing him today, he realized this great eternity immortal wasn't ordinary. "I'm Xian Changyong. When does Qi Baitsong want to fight? Just say it, I can't be bothered waiting." The bulky man, surprised, quickly disappeared and looked calmly at Yimo. Yimo scanned everyone else here and said, "I need to give this battle invitation to you alone. Of course, if you don't dare to receive it alone, you can let everyone stay." "Ha ha ha," Xiang Changyong laughed. "There's a battle invitation I don't dare to accept? I will accept any challenge. You don't need to use your little tricks. Everyone, please wait for a moment. I want to see what a mere great eternity immortal primary stage can do to me." Xiang Changyong's tone was very contemptuous. He considered Yimo dead too. After he challenged Qi Baitsong, he would be challenging Yimo next. Everyone seemed to know Xiang Changyong's character and immediately left. After everyone left, Yimo put a few restrictions on the door. "On the account of you blocking my killing intent sever, I'll give you a chance to speak." Xiang Changyong stared at Yimo coldly. "Take my punch first." Yimo said and punched. Xiang Changyong didn't expect Yimo dared to fight in his room, but his reaction was fast. He was furious. He wasn't even cocky yet, and a mere great eternity immortal primary stage dared to be this cocky. The next moment, a huge baton appeared before him. Yimo's punch seemed to have appeared out of nowhere and swept away all the space-killing intent in this room. Endless killing force was born out of nowhere and formed a killing intent whirlpool in just a second and enveloped Xiang Changyong. Yimo could easily take the space-killing intent of 1,000 km radius and control it into the size of a room. Xiang Changyong wasn't Yan Jiutian. He was far from it. Yimo wasn't even scared of Yan Jiutian. He didn't need to have any concerns teaching Xiang Changyong a lesson. He had the confidence to kill him and not startle anyone outside. Of course, Yimo wasn't going to kill Xiang Changyong. If he was, it wouldn't be in the room. Plus, Xiang Changyong's background was strong. Yimo didn't want to mess with the people behind him yet. When Yimo punched, Xiang Changyong was still sneering, but when Yimo brought all the killing intent in the room and the killing force kept increasing out of nowhere, Xiang Changyong frowned. He felt Yimo was no weaker than him. When Yimo's killing intent whirlpool formed and enveloped him inside and found it difficult to even control his magic artifact, Xiang Changyong's heart went ice cold. If Yimo's fist wind exploded around him, he would be the center of the explosion and get torn apart. At this moment, Xian Changyong realized that Yi Mo wasn't on par with him. He was far beyond him. Yi Mo's such terrifying killing intent didn't even touch the walls of the room, and knew that this wasn't Yi Mo's true power. If Yi Mo used his true power, he wouldn't last more than 10 seconds in front of this great eternity immortal primary stage. How was there such terrifying great eternity immortal in Changrong heaven? His killing intent sever was worse than a pebble in the sea compared to this punch. No wonder Yi Mo's hair didn't even move. Such killing intent struck straight into Xian Changyong's heart. Xian Changyong felt that the next moment his life would no longer belong to him. Cold sweat fell from Xian Changyong. For the first time, he felt he was so close to death. Although Yi Mo attacked first and made him lose the first opportunity, but even if he was prepared, could he stop this punch? Even if he did, could he stop the next one? Just when Xian Changyong closed his eyes waiting for death, the terrifying killing intent suddenly stopped and the killing force whirlpool disappeared slowly. Xian Changyong's pale face breathed easy. He knew he just had a stroll in death's doors. If Yi Mo didn't take back this punch, he would be dead. Xian Changyong immediately knew that Yi Mo used a fist god artifact. Yet, Yi Mo could control such terrifying fist wind and force with such ease. Once could see how strong Yi Mo was. The room returned to what it was before, but Xian Changyong was sweating cold. He breathed easy, but his face was very bad. "I can easily kill you," Yi Mo said coldly. If Yi Mo said this when he first came in, he would have attacked already. Xian Changyong put away his magic artifact. He knew Yi Mo was speaking the truth. Yi Mo continued, "I didn't come here to kill you. If I wanted to, I would challenge you." Xian Changyong shivered. If he failed on the battle stage, he would be killed and be scorned for being killed by great eternity immortal primary stage after his death. After a moment of silence, he said heavily, "You're right, you can easily kill me. I was asked by someone to kill Qi Beitsong. If I knew Qi Beitsong had a friend like you, I won't challenge him." Xian Changyong knew why Yi Mo asked everyone in the room to leave. It was to save face for him. Clearly, Yi Mo wasn't scared of him, but didn't want to start conflict with him. "I appreciate your goodwill," Xian Changyong added. He was violent, but he wasn't dumb. Yi Mo nodded. It was the best outcome that Xian Changyong could calm down and answer his words. If Xian Changyong was an idiot, Yi Mo would have to resort to challenging him. "Very well. I hope you can apologize to Qi Beitsong and say you were told by someone and cancel the challenge," Yi Mo said. Xian Changyong subconsciously answered, "Impossible. I would definitely not apologize to anyone nor cancel the challenge." Yi Mo sneered. "In that case, I will challenge you first. I feel that Hua Rushua isn't bad, you and her." "Wait," Xian Changyong quickly stopped. "I agree to your request. But in order to do that, Qi Beitsong has to agree, or the challenge can't be cancelled." "I will convince Qi Beitsong. He won't make it hard for you. You're a smart person. I believe you know what to do. I can't mess with East Abyss Emperor sect yet, and I don't want conflict with them, but I don't want something to happen to my friend. But just because I don't want conflict doesn't mean I'm scared of any power." Yi Mo's words made Xian Changyong know clearly that Yi Mo didn't consider him a threat. He just didn't want to offend East Abyss Emperor sect. If he did, he would eventually get back at them. Xian Changyong didn't feel Yi Mo was talking big. Yi Mo could easily kill a great eternity immortal peak stage as great eternity immortal primary stage. Clearly, Yi Mo's future was boundless. "I agree, but if Qi Beitsong insults me, I would rather die in your hands," Xian Changyong said. Yi Mo nodded and left. He believed Qi Beitsong would insult Xian Changyong. "May I ask of your name, friend?" Xian Changyong quickly saluted with his fists and asked, "Solo cultivator Yi Mo." Yi Mo opened the restriction. There were still many great eternity immortals outside. Some were Xian Changyong's friend. Some came to see the fun. They wanted to see if Xiang Changyong would kill this great eternity immortal primary stage. Seeing Yi Mo leave rapidly, everyone was confused. According to Xiang Changyong's temper, this guy should either be dead or heavily injured, but Yi Mo left perfectly fine. Seeing Yi Mo leave rapidly, everyone was confused. According to Xiang Changyong's temper, this guy should either be dead or heavily injured, but Yi Mo left perfectly fine. Moments later, Xiang Changyong appeared at the door. Compared to Yi Mo, these great eternity immortal felt like a lot about Xiang Changyong changed. His face didn't seem very good, and there were slight waves on his immortal essence. Friends, I just heard Chi Baitsong's friend explain. I just realized I was used by someone. I can fight to death, but there's no way I'm going to let myself be used. Xiang Changyong's words made people very confused. Xiang Changyong was using an excuse to kill Chi Baitsong. How come he said he was being used? Didn't he like people using him to kill? Xiang Changyong said seriously, I, Xiang Changyong, am a clean person. Wrong is wrong, I will not let people use me. They want to use me to challenge Chi Baitsong. I'm not going to let them have it their way. This time, I've decided to apologize to Chi Baitsong. Xiang Changyong's words shook everyone nearby. What was this? Xiang Changyong going to apologize personally? With this temper, he would only kill Chi Baitsong and then challenge the person who used him. A few cunning great eternity immortal were already on to something. They immediately joined. Brother Xiang is indeed a clean and upright person. After knowing he was used, he still uses a nice manner to apologize to an ordinary great eternity immortal. He indeed has the mannerism of a big sect. With Brother Xiang's unparalleled Tao heart, his accomplishment would be boundless. With people leading the way, the rest immediately knew what happened and all clapped. Xiang Changyong felt a little awkward, but he was grateful to those great eternity immortal. At least his status and face was saved. Those smart great eternity immortal already knew the problem was with the great eternity immortal primary stage, who sent the battle invitation. If it's sant that Xiang Changyong was really powerful, some people even suspect he was taught a lesson inside. This was too absurd, however. As soon as Yi Mo left Fundu Heaven region, he saw someone familiar, little immortal king Lu Mang. He sneered at him, clearly waiting for him here. No wonder you killed Ming Kai. You're a great eternity immortal. So amazing. Lu Mang sneered. Yi Mo knew Lu Mang hated him to the bones, but he didn't care. He had time-space boat, he could go anywhere. You're right, my great extreme immortal was fake. Great eternity immortal is real. It's better than something that can't be real. Yi Mo said. Lu Mang was very annoyed seeing that Yi Mo sneering him for being a fake immortal king, but he couldn't fight here. I'm warning you to stay away from 11U. Otherwise, you won't even know how you die. Lu Mang threatened again. Yi Mo ignored him and immediately left. Lu Mang sneered, but there was nothing he could do. At this moment, a great eternity immortal came to deliver Lu Mang a message. Yi Mo wasn't going to let this go, and his spirit, sense, sneaked over. Yi Mo only heard the words, 5-element item, auction immortal king. Lu Mang immediately left. He seemed very desperate. Yi Mo didn't care about auctions. There were ones every day. He cared about the 5-element item. It made Yi Mo think of his stone stools. Thinking about this, Yi Mo was in no rush to go back and immediately chased after Lu Mang in invisibility. There were many restrictions on the immortal ship, and in less than 15 minutes, Lu Mang disappeared from him. Brother Yi! Just when Yi Mo was thinking about how to get to the auction, a voice of surprise and joy sounded. Yi Mo recognized this person. It was Ren Elijin and Chu Chi next to her. To be honest, Yi Mo really didn't want to see these two. He didn't expect they had the right to go to Qingwei Heaven. Yi Mo could only saluted with his fists and greet them, so it's Marshall's sister Li Jin and brother Chu. We meet again. I believe you two are going to Qing Wei Heaven too? Chu Chi quickly said, Yes. Thank you for your help, Brother Yi. Seeing Yi Mo here, Chu Chi was very shocked. Yi Mo could appear here, meaning that in the battle at the palace, He Warren was probably dead. Yi Mo being great eternity immortal primary stage was very normal to him. Last time Yi Mo was great extreme immortal peak stage. Yi Mo didn't want to mention the past and quickly said, It's nothing. You guys should be in Jin Shang Heaven. How are you guys here? In order to go to Qing Wei Heaven, the immortal residents used a lot of effort. We know it's very hard for us to get the Peng Yu immortal fruit, but it's better to see the world. It's the marketplace ahead. We brought some immortal artifact we want to sell. Ren Li Jin quickly said. Yi Mo knew that they must be selling the immortal artifact they got in the immortal graveyard range. Yi Mo immediately said, Perfect, I want to go to the marketplace too. This was just a marketplace on the immortal ship, but it as popular as marketplaces in some immortal cities. There were mostly great eternity immortal inside, only a few great extreme immortal. Yi Mo let Chu Chi and Ren Li Jin go set up their stall first. He wanted to find out about the auction and didn't want others to know. Why is Yi Mo still not back? Jiu Rian was worried. Xian Changyong's temper was bad, and they all knew. If Yi Mo offended Xian Changyong wouldn't dare to kill him, but he could heavily injure Yi Mo or destroy his power. Yi Mo was just sending a battle invitation. It shouldn't take this long. Even Ji Shu and them were getting worried. Li Kuan wasn't worried at all, but seeing everyone worry, she began to worry too. She trusted Yi Mo's power, but what if they gained up on Yi Mo? Thinking about this, Li Kuan couldn't sit down anymore and immediately got up and said, I'll go have a look. Sister Shiyu, let me go. Ji Shu got up. He was close with Yi Mo. At this moment, the restriction of the room moved. Someone came. Chi Bait-sung was a little tipsy, but he immediately felt it and opened the restriction, saying, Brother, you should be back. But when he opened the restriction, he was dazed. It wasn't Yi Mo at the door, it was Xian Changyong here, but there was no Yi Mo. Chi Bait-sung guessed that Yi Mo might be heavily injured, and immediately got up in fury. Everyone else realized what happened. Yi Mo was heavily injured, and Xian Changyong came to show off. Yi Mo's friends were only Ji Shu, Chi Bait-sung, Jiu Rian, and Yin Hui. Everyone else guessed what happened, but no one got up. Where is my brother, Yi Mo? Li Kuan's eyes went red and yelled at Xian Changyong. Seeing the furious Li Kuan, who couldn't even control her killing intent, Xian Changyong dazed. He just came here and didn't attack Li Kuan. But soon he immediately realized what happened. Li Kuan clearly thought he did something to Yi Mo. Li Kuan was Yi Mo's sister. Xian Changyong was scared and quickly saluted with his fists, martial sister. Brother Yi went to my place and sat for a while and left. I don't know where he went, but I believe he should be back soon. Everyone in the room dazed. Since when was Xian Changyong so easy to talk to? Was this the violent-tempered Xian Changyong? What shocked them even more was that Xian Changyong turned to Chi Bait-sung and said, Brother Chi, I was tricked by someone before to challenge you. Luckily, I know what happened now. I came to apologize to you and take back the challenge. Please forgive me, Brother Chi. In this instant, the room was extremely silent. Xian Changyong came to apologize and take back the challenge. If it wasn't that Xian Changyong's tone was genuine, no one would believe this was real. If it wasn't that Xian Changyong's tone was genuine, no one would believe this was real. Seeing the silence in the room, Xian Changyong felt very awkward and said genuinely, Brother Chi, what do you think? Chi Bait-sung was a little tipsy, but he instantly woke up now. He realized that Xian Changyong came to apologize, probably due to Yi Mo. Chi Bait-sung wasn't going to reject, of course. He quickly saluted with his fists. So, someone started this conflict using you. Since Brother Xian came to apologize, this little matter is over. Please come have a drink too. Chi Baitsong gave Xiang Changyong a way down. Then, Chi Baitsong poured a cup of wine for Xiang Changyong. Now, Jishu and them all realized that Xiang Changyong was indeed here to apologize. Xiang Changyong really didn't want to drink here, but was afraid Yemo would think his apology wasn't genuine, so he quickly finished the cup and said, "All the unhappiness and misunderstanding is over with this drink." Chi Baitsong was very happy and laughed. "Of course, Brother Xiang has an open heart. I greatly admire it. That little misunderstanding is nothing." With this, Xiang Changyong felt assured and immediately saluted with his fists. "In that case, I'll be leaving." Xiang Changyong walked to the door, but suddenly thought of something and turned back. "When Brother Yi comes back, if he has the time, I welcome him to come visit." Then, Xiang Changyong suddenly remembered what Yemo said before he left. Solo cultivator Yemo. Only now did he realize the meaning of that. Being solo cultivator meant that Yemo was alone and could go anywhere. If he kept looking for trouble with Yemo's friends, Yemo would attack without hesitation. Seeing Xiang Changyong leave, the room full of people went into discussion. They all realized that Xiang Changyong came to apologize due to Yemo, but Yemo was a great eternity immortal primary stage. How could he convince Xiang Changyong to apologize? Only Li Kuan knew that Yemo didn't persuade with words, he persuaded with fists. Since Xiang Changyong came to apologize, it meant that he considered the consequences of not apologizing. Ha ha ha! Chi Baitsong laughed and felt very satisfied. With Xiang Changyong apologizing to him, he would have everywhere he went if he told the story. Many thanks to Brother Yi today. Why isn't he back? Chi Baitsong wanted to celebrate, but he realized that Yemo wasn't back. Li Kuan said, "My brother probably has some business. Don't worry about him." It seems that with Yemo on our team, no one would dare to challenge us. Ji Shu laughed. Ji Shu knew a little more about Yemo than everyone else. The depressing atmosphere immediately lightened up with Xiang Changyong's apology. Yemo went to a few shops and still got no news about the auction. He even wanted to find Lu Meng straight up. At this moment, he saw a huge sign on a merchant tower that clearly spelled E-Tower Auction. Yemo immediately went inside. 5 minutes later, Yemo came out of the tower. He realized that this auction wasn't the auction he wanted to go to. But he also found out from here that there was a Ding Xiang auction that only invited those with high status. Lu Meng was the disciple of the Chang Rong Heaven's Heaven Lord. Clearly he had the opportunity. Yemo guessed that Mi Yun Saint of Ethereal Immortal Pond probably was invited too, but he didn't know if Li Kuan was invited. Yemo had decided to go ask Sister Shi first, and then Mi Yin. Before he left the marketplace, he heard some ruckus. Ren Li Jin's voice was very loud. Yemo knew that there was probably some issue at their stall, so he went over without hesitation. "Brother Yi." Ren Li Jin had this fear towards Yemo. She felt Yemo was very mysterious and powerful. She quickly greeted Yemo when he came. "What's going on?" Yemo looked at the rusty pill cauldron in Ren Li Jin's hands. Chu Chi quickly said, "After we saw this pill cauldron, I felt it wasn't ordinary and wanted to put it away, but this immortal friend tried to force me to sell this cauldron to him. I didn't want to, and he's causing trouble here. Your stall is clearly selling old products. I just picked this up from your stall. How am I causing trouble? If you don't want to sell, then don't set up a stall here." A great eternity immortal peak stage yelled. Ren Li Jin immediately said, "Why can't I set up stall here? Does this marketplace belong to you? Show me the cauldron." Yemo reached out his hand. "Brother Yi, if you like this pill cauldron, you can have it. I'll give it to you for free. I'm not going to sell it to this rude person," Ren Li Jin said. The great eternity immortal peak stage sneered and just stared at Yemo's cauldron, saying nothing. Clearly he really wanted it. Yemo took the pill cauldron and scanned it with his spirit sense. When he saw waves and waves of restrictions, he immediately realized why this great eternity, immortal peak stage, wanted it so much. This was a low-grade god artifact. A low-grade god artifact pill cauldron would be worth the same as an ordinary middle-grade god artifact. Yemo was immediately interested in this god artifact. Brother Chu marshaled sister Li Jin. This pill cauldron is a good magic artifact. I'm an immortal pill master. It's useful to me. Before Yemo finished, Chu Chi said, Marshal Brother Yi, you saved us before. If you like it, then take it. Plus, Marshal sister Li Jin agreed to give it to you. Then, thank you, Yemo said. He really did save them, and to be fair, he abandoned this cauldron. He didn't expect there were really good things in that pile of trash. There's a chronological order to things. I came first. What right do you have to take it? The great eternity immortal immediately became desperate. Yemo took the pill cauldron and stared at this great eternity immortal. Did you see me buy it? They gave it to me for free. Did you not hear it? The people watching immediately laughed out. The great eternity immortal was at a loss of words. But he immediately changed his position and saluted with his fists. Friend, this pill cauldron is really important to me. Name a price. I will buy it from you. If you have to buy it, then I'll sell it to you. Yemo frowned and said. He didn't believe this great eternity immortal would be able to afford it. The Git immediately said happily, Okay, thank you, friend. Yemo waved his hand. Don't thank me yet. This pill cauldron is very pricey. If you can't afford it, don't blame me. Tell me, the great eternity immortal said calmly. He believed with his fortune he would be able to shock this great eternity immortal primary stage. Yemo nodded. One extreme great immortal range. If you can take out an entire one, you can have this pill cauldron. Yemo didn't know which one was more valuable, but he knew his price wasn't overpriced. To Yemo, the extreme great immortal range was more important because he had a Shun-known cauldron. This great eternity immortal immediately pointed at Yemo in fury, thinking Yemo was mocking him. He didn't even have a low-grade immortal range. Not even immortal emperors had an extreme grade immortal range. Not even every grand emperors had an extreme grade immortal range. At this moment, another voice sounded. Brother Yi, can you show that pill cauldron to me? Of course the price will be what you say. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.